last we left our heroes, slimes. Our intrepid adventurers decided to sign up with the Alexandrian army to defend Fort Mercer from roving bands of mercenaries and sellswords that have gathered across the river, most of them consisting of dragonkin and dragonborn. To this end, you have been tasked after showing some incredible feats of strength to the leader of this band of mercenaries you've joined up with. Well, you're the mercenaries. They're the actual army. Captain Uthbert, you've been tasked with clearing out the tower apart from Fort Mercer. If you are able to clean it of monsters and what have you, the rest of the army can climb up the tower and take the bridge into the fort proper, the main gates having collapsed long ago. And so you've done this thing. You've entered into the fort and you've fought the various things inside, which mostly consisted of slimes, gelatinous cubes, 5 in fact, that with a few bad rolls have proved to be quite deadly. However, you overcame it with no casualties besides that to your own skin and pride, and you've been able to reap the rewards justly. I believe most of you have walked away with treasures of various kinds. I hope you've been writing them down because the DM will forget about them, and if you're like, didn't I have this thing? I'll be like, I don't know. It's gone now. Right. So we have our treasures taken care of for the most part. And that's where we left off. We're at the top of the tower, and you've signaled down to the camp below, and they are in the process of just gathering people to go inside the fort. At the bottom of the tower, you see sconces being lit and people kind of pulling in carts and pulling boxes off the carts that you can already see is like full of encampment things. Like, what am I looking for? Ballista that have been disassembled. Things of that nature. Food and other things like that as well. So you're just at the top of the tower. You're surrounded by mostly just decrepit debris and also a few things that seem to imply some animal that used to live here at some point, not currently. There's a large nest off to the corner that is clearly bigger than what we just picture for like a standard bird or a kestrel. And it is the waning hour. It's like the dead of night. It's quite dark. You did this after sundown. So at this point, I think it's like between 10 and 12 o'clock. So where would you guys like to start?
Are we done?
I'm pretty sure
we should
did
go and check in with the. It's not great. It's not the commander. What was it like? She's like the lieutenant. What
the lieutenant.
The lieutenant. We should probably go and check in with the lieutenant at the very least.
Okay,
Maybe
and then I need quite a rest. I don't have any spells left.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, if you guys wait long enough, eventually to the top of the tower comes some shambling knights and a few soldiers at arms as well. They truck their things across the bridge with, testing 1 foot at a time. They're not sure if the bridge will hold, but it seems to. And they continue on their journey. The lieutenant comes up shortly after. She's in full silver armor and a red cape, and she has her sword at her side, and she'll approach the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you, including Closet. No, not including Closet Scratch. Oliver is in your company.
Oliver.
Oliver and company is what she comes over and refers to you as.
Oh, wonderful. That's fine, actually.
And she will just kind of look over at the things that you've destroyed and look at the state of you guys as well. There's a few of you that have some severe burn marks on your bodies from where you've been attacked by large amoeba-like creatures, gelatinous cubes.
I'm fine.
Sure you are.
You're not fine.
You're not fine.
Sure you are. Gareth, your hair's
I'm at 16 health. I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
If I poke Gareth in one of his like horrible acid wounds, like what happens? Oh, I want to know what happens.
I can't tell you unless you do it.
What happens, Salty?
What happens if you fall off the bridge?
Oliver's gonna take a few steps away from you too.
You go splat.
Ezrin just goes,
I probably have a spell for that, right?
They're always like this.
Anyways, was the tower cleared to your expectations, Lieutenant?
Yes, quite in fact. I'm most impressed. It's spick and span downstairs. And all within just a couple of hours of me giving you the missive as well. Very impressive.
I don't like to let things linger. Is there anything else that you need from us?
She's gonna take a quick perception check at you guys. No, that'll be all for now. I think you've done your job quite well. You deserve some rest, and we don't know what might happen in the morning, so try to hop to it. The rest of my men will take it from here.
Thank you.
Though I suppose you are welcome to join us into the fort proper, though I would not recommend it. I don't like tired troops.
I could definitely use the rest, so I'll go ahead and take you up on that offer.
We'll rejoin you when we're back up to 100%.
She'll nod and then just kind of say that, she just goes back to kind of like saying orders to some of the other people who are coming up. People trying to like heave these big boxes up the steps as well. You see one kind of like partially open a little bit, like a chest, and inside is just these long bolts, like a good 4.5 long ballista bolts. And they're just going to start working their way across the bridge, one section at a time. The 5 of you, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, that works out, head back down the tower, I suppose. Your loot in tow and your camp waiting for you.
Yep. Yeah, we're just going to do that.
Sleepy time.
Oliver kind of like hops down quickly. He goes down the stairs as fast as he can, occasionally transitioning to all fours just to kind of get out of this place as soon as possible.
Whittle paws.
His little tip taps. You hear his nails kind of tapping against the stone. Claws that scratch kind of like, for a second, is like furry thing moving very fast, and it like triggers some deep primitive design instinct deep inside Claws that scratch. But Umber reels that in. Or maybe she doesn't, and then we just watch as Claws that scratch eviscerates.
Umber, do you reel it or not?
How big is Claws that scratch compared to Oliver?
Bigger.
I reel it in.
They're roughly the same size at this point. Oliver probably weighs
then it'd be
more.
a fair fight. I reel it in.
It's funny if it's like a cat attacking Gareth, but it's not funny if it's like
No, that's like a
bear
bear.
A
attacking-
hippogriff attacking a small paw.
Yeah.
This
Oliver,
is a large beast.
Oliver's
Kind of
definitely in
brutal.
the weight class higher because hippogriffs have like porous bones. But that's a very sharp beak and very sharp claws that scratch. So
I'm kidding.
the hippogriff fake rolls initiative.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, if you every now and then Oliver just kind of like will like look back at claws that scratch and just he'll pant. He doesn't sweat. I was gonna say he sweats, but he doesn't have sweat glands. But yeah, they go down the tower, and the 5 of you head back to your camp, unless you say otherwise. The shuffled. You got some rocks that's centered around like the center to kind of form a fire, and your tent is still set up. So you're back. You have your loot in tow and your weapons and what have you. I think Azreen mentioned wanting to take a second to try and start casting magical things of identification.
Identifies have already been cast.
They have not because they take time.
You have 2 extras.
Out of
Yeah,
character, you
We
guys
got
told
2.
me what you guys wanted to, but in character, we still need to do that. So Azreen's going to start casting Identify on to the 2 charms, I believe.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna start
But what
attuning
up-
this
but-
buckler.
See, side note, I could really be really beneficial if Gareth knew exactly what the sword does.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
I mean, if you cast Identify, we would.
But I mean, like, whack shit with it. Obviously,
You
it's
can also
something.
attune to it yourself.
Tuning
DM,
won't
I wanna
necessarily
attune-
reveal
I wanna
this.
attune to the buckler.
Attuning is something you spend a long rest or short rest doing, but good to know that you've told me so. Make sure you add
It's
it to
long
your-
rest. Like, do I not get my health back if I attune? Or
No. It's something you can do in addition to.
It counts as the rest activity. It's not like.
okay. Then I want to do that
You
as we
do
rest.
to attune, and this is something that you probably learn from fables and kind of common knowledge, depending on where you're from. You literally will do it in your own way, depending on where you're from. But in Idrisis, there's a very commonality of just like sitting down, legs crossed, or if you can't manage that, just like on your knees and holding the thing in your hands or across your lap, and just trying to just meditate for it for a while, and just kind of try and almost half fall asleep. And it's attuning is a process,
Okay.
but it's a calm process. It's a resting process. So if you do it over a short rest, you can still expend hit die and stuff like that. Or if it's a long rest, you still recover your spell
do that then.
slots. Okay, so Umber sits down with the buckler. Also, Umber, don't forget you also have a helmet.
Can I attune to the helmet?
It gave off a faint magical aura. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a
Oh.
tunable item, but you can only attune to one thing over the course of an
you know
hour.
what? I'm gonna attune to the helmet first.
Okay.
I used a 2-handed weapon, so I'm gonna tune into the helmet first.
So,
I
decide what we are going to be using Identify on.
I thought it was gonna be the 2 charms.
Yeah, I thought it was the charms too, because the rest we can just use and figure out.
Maybe.
You can't like use the charm. It can't be like I'm just gonna chuck this charm at you, see what happens.
You are correct.
Yeah, but Gray fucking said some words to me off fucking screen, and now I'm scared.
Maybe it's a curse sword, dude. Who knows?
It's up to you.
I mean, you can also attune to the charms and just like see if you can just get hit by a bunch of stuff and see if it confers
We
some.
can always
I mean,
wait on the amulets until we either A, find some more pearls, or B, purchase some more pearls. So I feel
How
like
much does a pearl cost, Mazarin?
100 gold, I believe.
Are there
100.
freshwater pearls?
You could try and find your own. I don't think there is such thing as.
We could try to do that during the morning.
There's
Yeah,
freshwater pearls, but not here.
A pearl worth at least 100 gold.
You need something that has natural oysters in it, so that'd be a very deep body of water, and there's no
It would have
lakes
been a
around.
bit further back in Pella.
Yeah, maybe back in Pella you can try and scour the coastlines or trade.
Hold up.
I know that Valerie has her lockbox, so maybe she.
Yeah, I think Gareth doesn't want to go scavenging for pearls.
Yeah, that's
I was
what I want to
actually
do.
going to see about unlocking that.
That would be more of like a me thing when we get back to the city.
Well, you mean Gareth
It's not a
doesn't
big
want to
issue
start
for
going in the water?
Fishes out 10 platinum. Here.
Uh,
Figure out what the sword does.
Quite a lot of pearls.
You know, if you guys got the money, there is a camp
Well, I
here,
know
and
10
there is
platinum
probably
is
a.
100 gold.
Not 100.
That's one.
Yeah, so Gareth's offering to basically just pay his way for the greatsword. You guys can go back into the camp, and there's probably a trader or a merchant or like a blacksmith who probably would have access to spell components. If you wanted to go and buy some, you could do it right now. Civilization came with you in the form of a traveling army.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Well, if Gareth wants to fork over the money, then he gives you the 10 platinum, and Azri can just take a hop skipping down to the main encampment, where Uthbert is going around with the other captains, and you know they're in their tent. You can kind of see them. I don't know if anybody goes with Azri, and feel free to pipe up and be like, oh yeah, I guess I will, depending on what's happening. But you see the camp is well lit on the inner areas where the HQ is, a larger tent in the center, and you can kind of hear the sounds of the lieutenant, as well as the lieutenant's name, by the way, is Charlotta. I don't know if that ever came up, and this was in fact this was before I got Grand Blue. Yes, it is coincidence, but it is Lieutenant Charlotta, and it is Captain.
What an awful.
I know. Now it has negative connotations. But hey, gotta stick with it. But they're inside. There's a few more voices as well that you can overhear, kind of like just talking or arguing. Not quite arguing, but there's definitely some kind of extreme deliberation happening inside the tent. Eventually, you find a blacksmith as well as a few people who look like they're of the cloth. The Mother Mercy herself. You see those silver feathers around their necks, and they are people who are kind of holy men and women who are here just to just in case, to give some last rites to warriors who might befall tomorrow. Who knows what might happen? But that's a common thing to see in traveling armies and armies in general. So Azrin, you would approach a few of them and ask them if they have any spell components on hand, and they would say yes, and they would be more than happy to provide you with some pearls if you have the money to pay for it.
I hand 20 platinum. So 10 of Gareth's that he gave me, and then my own 10.
Okay. They give you 10 pearls. I'm sorry. They give you 2 pearls.
Whoa!
Right, so I now
There's so
have
many
4.
so many 10 sounds. How many do you have total? 4?
Yeah, I have 4 now.
Okay. And then you can head back
Alright.
to the camp.
Head back. Okay, great sword first, I'm assuming?
That would be preferable. You can see like Gareth is kind of like binding some of like the open fucking scalds on his skin, like kind of like covering those up and like kind of tying off some bandages. That would be preferable, yes.
Okay, she takes the greatsword and she like lowers it into her lap because there's no way she's lifting this thing.
Okay. That makes sense.
She's-
Gareth, how
she's
much does
just
a regular greatsword weigh?
How much does my normal greatsword weigh?
Yeah.
It weighs 6 pounds.
Thought so. This thing weighs 15 pounds.
Ooh, sexy.
Oh yikes!
So she's like holding it by the hilt and she's like, heavy. How do you carry this stuff?
He's 5 times your size.
True. I mean, his bicep is probably as big as my head. Anyway, and I'm just gonna sit down with it, and I'm gonna crush the pearl and just do the thing.
How long does it take for you to cast the spells? You're doing it as a ritual, right? Which means you don't need to spend a spell slot, but it does mean you need
Ritual
to.
is 10 minutes. I think.
Ritual is
10
10
minutes.
minutes. Okay, good to know. So in the next 10 minutes, you'll have your answers as to the secret of these individual swords and items. The sword first. What are you guys kind of doing in the meantime? I do have to kind of gather some stuff because you have recently gained the ability to identify more things than I thought you were going to tonight. So forgive me if I take a moment.
Brukild is just like trying to fix that adamantium armor, adamantine, whatever the fuck it's called, and like customizing her shit, you know, like thinking, like putting some stuff back together and just like figuring something out.
I want to see about cracking this alms box I got open.
Do you need assistance, Valerie?
I don't think so, unless I fail this roll.
Right. DM.
Yes, my friend?
What does Valerie need to roll to try to open the alms box?
You can either roll a sleight of hand check to try and remove the lock, or a athletics check to break it open. But if you attempt to break it open, be warned. If it's a bad roll, you might damage what's inside.
Yeah, I'm not very strong, so we'll just go the Bard way about it.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's actually really good. With the sleight of hand, it's an old rusted lock, and you take out some of your own daggers and kind of just dig at it a little bit. You're not trying to pick the lock necessarily, you're just trying to basically chip through the tarnished metal until you just break the lock off, essentially, just without having to literally smash through the outside of it. So you break open this box, break the lock open, and you do, in fact, have a now open alms box.
There we go. Let's take a sip through, shall we?
All right. Roll an investigation check for me, because what's inside is a whole bunch of junk at first, and there's a few things that definitely strike your eyes, valuable. But let's get an investigation check. It's gonna take you some time to dig through all of it, is all. No big deal.
Would you like assistance?
But you see like old papers, and it looks like people like wrote down prayers and stuff like that. But when you try to like open them up, the paper falls apart instantly. It's old weathered paper that's there's some mold in there that's grown as well. You do see a spell components pouch, which I don't think has any bearing on you or yours, but that's just one of the things you find in there. And you find several platinum coins. You find 15 platinum coins.
Oh, okay.
And that's just what immediately catches your eyes, like, oh, hey, that's important. But there's a few other small odds and ends in there as well, but we're going to get back to that.
What was the other thing called?
It's a spell components pouch. If you're a caster, one of the things that you would need to cast things is either an arcane focus or a spell components pouch. So I don't think that's necessarily useful to you. It's just what was kept in there.
Give it to someone.
You could, or sell it. It wouldn't really. It's like a leather pouch of like incenses and spices, and there's little subdivisions inside for like chips of wood and even some like shiny gemstones and stuff that you would need to cast spells of a low quality nature.
If we're casting ritual spells, maybe there's pearls in there.
Yeah, you can dig in if you want to, but that's like a thing. Like when you start a game as a wizard, you can start with either A, an arcane focus, or B, a spell components pouch, and it's just I want to be more like a witch.
Whatever the fuck you need.
Yeah, it's not like necessarily full of the rare stuff.
Flavor thing.
It's like bat's wings and eye of newt. It's like that's what you see in there.
That shit and sulfur.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. But it would still probably fetch some coin on the market. But with 4 investigate, hey, maybe there's some other stuff in there, but we just don't know yet. But we'll come back to that. I'm trying to write out some stuff. I like to write things down because it's easier, because then you can just have it and see it with your eyeballs, but it might be easier if I just say some of the stuff. But I'm going to be gone for a short second. You guys confer amongst yourselves. I need to take a moment as the DM to assemble some things. But Oliver's here. He's like digging. He's cleaning his nails, and he's going through the treasures that he's collected as well. You see that grenade still he has, and he's picked up a few odds and ends as well. A few small shiny rocks.
Do we know about grenades? Would our characters know?
No.
The concept of
it's more like
black
a bomb.
powder.
Yeah, it's more of a bomb than an actual grenade.
But would we know what it is?
I bet that Brukild wouldn't, and I bet Azarine probably wouldn't. They probably have
I'd
the
say
idea of traps.
though.
Gareth will probably know due to his military.
Gareth would probably know. Yeah, this is it's definitely.
And apparently Oliver knows.
Oliver does know. Oliver seems to be very well acquainted with various traps that could be found within chests or, people that don't want their things stolen. He seems to know a way around.
Oh, also, I have an actual DM question. Are we currently in short rest? Like, can I get my spell slots and shit back?
You are currently short resting, so you can definitely recover your spell slots. We'll see if that turns into a long rest. A long rest would require at least 7 hours, and right now you're definitely gonna have an hour.
I wish there was a reset button on your.
Oh yeah, D&D Beyond has stuff like that, but unfortunately here Roll20 just have to manually do it. So the scene is yours. I'll be back.
Gareth's healing. He's using the same die.
I'm so annoyed because I shouldn't heal because I literally am only missing 1 HP, but my god, it's messing with my OCD.
Don't do it.
Missing HP.
Time to heal.
1 HP. This destroys my OCD.
I'm missing because we love Armor of Agathis.
I'm
It's sexy.
I'm attacked
I'm
now.
full health. I didn't get hit at all.
I didn't either, but I'm just missing 1 health. It's 1.
Brookhill just has a stripe,
I have a bruise on my elbow that's irritating me. That's what missing health is.
Literally, Gareth is coating parts of his arm with salve before tying it all off. Right, just muttering to himself.
He lost so much skin. He lost 1 pound.
That is a lot of skin to lose.
That's fucked up. I don't want to be
a lot
meat.
of surface.
I don't want to be meat, man. I don't want to be meat from a hit game, Mortal Kombat Armageddon.
1 pound of missing skin is your whole entire first 2 layers.
Y'all remember in high school those slap-on bracelets that people have? It looks like Brookhild got cut in one of those, but really badly, and she just has a huge, disgusting burnt stripe on her arm. But otherwise, she's fine. It's just ugh, gross. It touched me. It's more psychological damage, really.
Oh.
Once you got hit really hard, it was still psychological damage.
But no, she's busy sewing that armor back into her outfit, just figuring things out. She's trying things out, and she's looking at Azure, and she's nodding. That look you give your friend when you're trying out clothes at the store, and you're just yeah, no. With the dagger on the other side.
I think that looks fine.
Albert's just sitting in a corner with the helmet in her lap.
Just got fear from the amount of dirt in the alms box, so she closed it.
Ooh.
Too dusty.
Oh my. Gareth?
Have you finished?
Yeah.
Excellent. Tell me.
Well, I wouldn't say excellent just yet.
Oh, good. What is its issue then?
It's cursed and will cause -2 strength unless you say the command word loyalty while attuning. You can only remove the curse by greater restoration.
Well, wait a second. If I just say loyalty, then there's no curse, is there?
Yeah, but you have to say it while attuned. So just be warned, because if you unattune to it and then you come back to it and just want to use it without
that work?
saying
Genuinely,
loyalty,
mechanically, how does unattuning work?
I have no fucking idea.
If you attune, you can only attune to 3 things at a time. So if you tried to attune to a 4th thing, it would just knock off either whatever the oldest thing was you were attuned to, or you'd have to make a choice. But you can also choose to unattune. I don't remember how it works. It's not really that big of a deal.
Of gear do we have?
Is there any other effects
or
anything else that it could do other than just wound me? As a
on a critical hit, targets larger or smaller are knocked prone. This greatsword gains +1 to attacks and damage from this weapon. This weapon does not count. It's not magical.
Not magical. Okay.
Nah, it's just cursed.
Well then.
As we all know, curses aren't magic.
I'm just gonna give this to you, just so that you have it for your
How much-
records.
How
Thank
much
you.
pieces of gear do we have to investigate?
We still have the buckler, the 2 amulets, the helmet, the
No. The helmet's being attuned as we speak.
Yeah, I
Sterling's
just
just
sent
gonna
it.
take
to
the
you,
risk.
Gareth.
we're
And
not
I also have my parrying dagger.
We're not
and
gonna
the carrying
identify all of
dagger.
that.
Yes.
Alright, I currently have 3 pearls unless somebody wants to fork over 100 gold.
No, I'm fine.
Alright, so next we're doing the charms. Yes? No? Maybe so?
Honestly, I'm like partial to identifying. Well, charms is useful, but I feel like you can just like wear it and then something happens and you're like, ah.
Yeah, I've got 3 pearls. So that's 3 items that I can go through.
I mean,
I
I'm
kind
good.
of agree with
Yeah.
like, for better or worse, you could literally just wear the charm.
Well, I mean,
Alright.
this item was cursed. What's to say that none of these
Now
other
that
items are
you've
cursed?
learned that, maybe
Okay,
consider.
Gareth's eyes just slowly like glide over to Umber, who's like,
Who's
like
attuning?
holding the helmet.
She's currently in the process of attuning to.
Umber,
If it happens, it happens.
Hold my dagger right now.
do you want me to
Admirable.
test your
If it
Buckler?
happens, it happens.
If she dies, she dies.
Well, I have 3 more pearls, so 3 more casts. And
I leave
Yeah.
it to the will of the woods.
Oliver will just be like, do you at least want to say like loyalty or something while you're doing it, just in case?
Loyalty.
Nothing happens.
alright, so I guess
Going.
If they are refusing the offer, I wouldn't mind figuring out what this dagger is.
sure. I take the dagger and I sit there.
All right, in 10 minutes we'll find out whether or not this dagger has anything interesting about it.
Can I re-sift through this alms box?
Sure, roll an investigation check for him.
I swear, I'm so unlucky with investigation.
Valerie needs glasses.
If
I
she might.
do.
If only there was a glasses maker within your part.
But back when
Right?
she was an esthetician, she felt so much more
An
like.
optometrist.
Optometrist.
Oh, there we go.
Wow, you did it.
You're fine.
The -2 on the other hand, though. Jesus.
There's actually 2 things in here of note with a 17. Having beaten a 10, you found a pearl.
We did it again. We got one.
And having
Nice,
beat
you
a
just
six,
got one.
having beat a 16, as you dig down to the bottom at the dirt and refuse, the paper that's collected on the bottom that's melted over time and rehardened
Jesus.
then dried out again, and digging into it with like a dagger or something, you find a diamond.
Oh, that's a lot.
Hmm.
That's a revival.
If anybody
I'm
knows the
not
spell.
spelling that. This is to avoid death.
If anybody knows the spell, what is that?
Nope.
Revivify? What is the spell again?
No,
well,
I
I'll
don't-
learn it next level, I
Look, at
promise.
some point, this will help us avoid death. I'm not selling.
I'm a warlock. I can only murder.
roll an Arcana check. It's a pretty small diamond, but you might want to affirm that it's in fact a diamond worth that which Revivify would call for.
Not the smartest with our
I'll help.
Okay. If Brookhill wants to assist as well. Basically, Valerie just like reaches down and pulls out this like dirt-covered nothing.
It's a shiny jewel, so obviously
Of
Brookhill immediately
course.
notices that a shiny jewel is being
Yeah.
It's a bad
celebrated.
time to mention I'm nearsighted.
By the way, it's cut. It's not cut like a diamond. It doesn't look like a chaos emerald. It's cut
That's
into a
funny.
cube.
Oh.
Yeah.
Weird.
No, it's just more
I
efficient to
didn't
store
roll
them that
that
way.
well.
In this world, diamonds don't have the fake, gift of the nonsense value that we've applied.
The spell's actually resurrection.
Resurrection, okay. A 12? With a 12 Arcana, Brookhill's background. Yeah, okay. This time, I think just because it's a shiny as well as something Arcana related, yeah, I think you can get advantage on that one.
Wait,
It's
before
probably
I
like
You have to re-roll.
most of her shit.
put all my money down on saving to revive later. How much does a diamond go for again?
Well, you need a diamond worth 100, or like 300 gold pieces for
For
Resurrection.
resurrection, it's 1,000.
For 1,000. I'm pretty sure there's one below that.
If it's
Revivify.
1,000, I'm selling it, and if it's 300, then I'm keeping it. Just straight on. This is what
Revivify is diamonds worth 300 gold pieces. You have 1 minute to cast it and return a target to life with 1 hit point.
That's the one that I was thinking about. Roll,
And it's
roll
a
your
cleric
Arcana.
and paladin spell, so nice.
None of us can learn it.
There might be ways to do it though. I think
Yeah.
for example, College of Bards is able to learn spells from other people's spell books and stuff like that, and so there's potential.
Anyways, Garrett's alley going to stand up and collect some items, and then turn over towards Brewhild, and he's just gonna be like, "Dwarf, I'm gonna go sell this armor.
Have fun.
I'll be back shortly." And he's gonna
Actually, wait, do I have extra shit? Get rid of my old chain shirt. She'll just throw him her old armor.
Gareth catches it, looks at it, and looks at her, and just turns around, doesn't say anything, but walks off with it.
But I have a newer, shinier one, and you're already doing this. Like, come on, don't be a dick about it.
I mean, he's taking it.
And so like, so yeah, what about that diamond, that shiny?
Did you re-roll? You need to re-roll. You can't just take the 16.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
right.
I hope I get possessed.
Wait, do I also roll again?
No, you've had your try.
Oh, nice. I love.
Umber,
I love
if
the
you get possessed, then I say I told you.
Thanks, Azreen.
I wouldn't hear you.
Brookehild, with a 12 Arcana, you're looking at it and you're like, damn, that is a substantial diamond. That thing would be, you're not exactly sure how much it's worth, and you can't guarantee. Is it something that would be, would it pack enough ethereal energy for Revivify? Well, probably.
I'd make like 3 pieces of jewelry out of it, but I don't know if it can bring people back from the dead.
Yeah, you're like, this at the very least, this thing is worth at least 200.
You know what I see in this diamond? Level 6.
That's also a possibility. It's either a lifeline or it's level 6. It's your choice. But it's it's definitely worth around 300, give or take.
I'm really gonna go to level 6 while we're all still at level 4.
Listen, man, I don't
Someone has to carry this party.
I'm just playing the game.
But yeah, Lucas like, yeah, at least good 200, probably up to 3. Now, if it can bring people back from the dead, I don't know.
Do time.
Make a nice couple of rings, though. Yeah? Can you repeat that?
No.
Hello?
Certainly shiny. Hello?
Rinthi, are you okay? Rinthi, you've cut out. If you're not sure, we cannot hear you.
Oh boy.
There you go. You're back. You're fixed again.
Oh, Rinthy's back.
Sorry, I just got pulled into limbo for a moment. Don't know what happened.
You looked too deep. You looked deep into the diamond, imagining the futures that you could possibly do. All right. So what's being identified next? Sorry, the dagger, correct?
Yes.
Dagger.
Wonderful. And Umber is just going to go balls in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good to me. You identify the dagger, and that's something I'm going to need to send to Coco. Coco.
He. Gimme. So, Brookhill, you seem to really enjoy that armor.
Oh, it's very shiny. It fits the colors. That's great. And she twirls around a little bit. She has like that scale mail like under her dress, and it just like jingles. She's just like really jingly now. She's even louder than before. Like
The
as if she
color
didn't
suits you.
already jingle with like 10,000 pieces of jewelry. Now it's worse. Also, probably if there's sunlight, like it's probably blinding.
It's
with all the
nighttime.
colors. No,
It's
but like
nighttime.
eventually, just like
The moonlight.
She like looks at the dagger and like picks it up with 2 fingers and like holds it away from her.
Ah, geez, that one too. Maybe should have checked that armor.
Yeah,
Those things-
this
Also,
is cursed.
what does it do?
If you don't speak the command word loyalty when attuning, man, these guys really had
Hey, I already spoke it.
no imagination. If you
What
don't
is it
say
called?
loyalty when attuning, you suffer -2 dexterity until healed by greater restoration.
Loyalty. That's the second time.
Other than that, you don't suffer damage from falling up to a distance of 20 feet if you land a critical hit with a weapon while holding this weapon in a hand. You get 10 feet of movement until the end of your next turn.
Good grief.
Loyalty.
Well, I'm going to attune to it, I guess.
I will.
Loyalty.
Okay. I'm gonna send this to you, Brinthie, as well, just so that you have it.
Well, that's 2 down. What's next? Umber, you're not going to get an answer until an hour in because you know, you're just attuning to it. You're just going balls in. So unfortunately,
Yeah, loyalty.
Yeah, what,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
do
loyalty.
you want to look at the buckler?
Do you want it? Do you want me to?
I mean, that's up to you. It's
Uh,
your pearl.
I mean, I didn't find anything, so
How many pearls do you have left? That's 2 items. That's 2, right?
I have 2 left. So I can do the buckler and then one more thing.
Didn't Renthi also find a pearl?
Yes, I did.
Did you give it to me?
We can say I silently threw it to you while nothing was happening.
Thank
Sure.
you. Okay, so I have 3 pearls.
So you can check every single item then that we have, other
Yeah,
than the
yeah.
helmet.
Yeah, sure. Take the. No,
Almost.
the helmet.
Yeah,
can
more
I
go.
got rid of
than
the
that.
pearl and I got rid of the parrying dagger.
I'm getting possessed, so you guys want it or not. You can look at the buckler though.
Alright, I'm gonna take the buckler and I'm gonna sit.
Figure out
It's
what that
only
is.
1 pound, really?
Gray.
Yeah.
So Gareth has returned back to like the main fort area and is here to sell
Sure.
the rusted splint armor, the chainmail or
Sure.
chain shirt. Cat. Which one was it?
Yeah, chain shirt, just a regular chain shirt.
And then his great claymore as well.
Oh, I'm actually surprised. But okay. One moment then. I have to get together some stuff. That's
You're
up to you.
getting rid of your baby?
Well, I
getting
can't
rid of
wield
your
them both.
girlfriend?
And also the
I-
second one weighs a fuck ton, so.
It does.
All right, well, the chain shirt, someone will be willing
Yeah,
to give you
let's do
20.
the armor first.
Yeah, the chain shirt that Brookill gave you, someone be like, I'll give you 20 gold for it. The blacksmith says.
25.
Roll persuasion. But it's gonna be high. Just saying 25. It's not
You're
the
gonna
most
argue-
persuasive.
All right, 20.
All right, well, he looks at me and just goes, sorry, there's just not a lot of dwarf-sized people around here. It's gonna be hard to resell it. But he'll give you 20, so just, you know.
I'll take 20.
Okay, take the 20 to your inventory
Mm-hmm.
and remove the chain shirt if you put it in.
Yep. And then the rusted armor.
Yeah, it was rusted,
Splint.
rusted splint. I distinctly remember we were discussing how are you going to get it down out, but we'll glaze over that because there's a variety of ways that I can think of, so it's not that big of a deal. He's going to look at that and he's going to appraise it, and he's going to there's some rolling that has to be on the screen because it looks like shit. But hey, it might be good for scrap. He looks and he just goes, oh, 75. The rivets look like they might be good.
Gareth's also kind of looking at, can I make an appraisal check?
Sure.
Because I know armor. I know armor, right?
I'm gonna make a general wisdom check, but I'll give you advantage.
God damn it, wisdom.
Why? Are you better
Motherfucker.
with intelligence?
Yeah, I am better with intelligence.
Oh.
What, really?
Yeah, I have 12 intelligence and 10 wisdom.
You really are lawful stupid.
Intelligence is history, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, yeah, you can use intelligence then, because you'd be like looking back to your own
Investigation
memories
is
of trying to.
intelligence, too.
Yeah, they could both work. So yeah, roll an intelligence check with advantage. 21. All right, there we go.
History.
Well, you said history, right?
Yeah, sure. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
Okay.
It's the same rule essentially.
Oh.
He's using the same stat. I don't really care. But yeah, with the 21, as long as if we say like, yeah, take advantage before, and then you roll the doubles like that, then that's fine. But if we roll and then we
And then
deduce like,
they-
wait, I
yeah,
can get advantage, that's like then we need to re-roll, just to be in the spirit of the advantage.
Yep.
Just to be clear. But yeah, with the 21, you're looking at it and you're like, ooh, like it's a screaming metal death trap is what it is. The splint mail traditionally worth 200. So
Yeah.
if you were selling back a good, nice, solid splint mail, they'd give you like around 100. The usual idea is buyback is you get 50% of what you could put into it. So he's giving you 75. That seems pretty okay for what it is. You wouldn't be able to make any use of this, and you're pretty sure that the only people who could are craftsmen who are gonna take it apart for whatever it's useful for. So 75, that's probably pretty good for what it is.
God, I get 5 more though.
Gareth,
what do you
this
tell
is
him to
not your
try and get more
wheelhouse.
money?
Sit down.
What's your argument?
What is my argument?
I mean,
Historical value.
anything's possible, but you have to provide me with a.
Put it in a museum.
You're not here, Brookhill.
Oh yeah, no. I like gold now. Yeah, no. This was actually I commandeered this piece when I was clearing out the tower over there. It seems to be left here from the precursors, from the Umbran Empire.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Okay.
This smith is actually quite intrigued by that.
Persuasion with advantage. Let's get that 0, baby. Oh, hey, 18.
Ooh,
Fast Cheek started talking.
I'll give you 90.
I'll take 90.
I'll give you 90 to help make up for the fact that I'm probably just I'll try to hand this off to a historian or something. Maybe a refurbishing would be better than just scrap. All right, here you go. And he'll just hand over the 90 and,
Many thanks.
all right. And that is out of your possession as well.
Yep.
Are you gonna sell any of those like 20 short swords that you have, or?
I think
mean,
I think you left
first
him
of all,
behind.
I only have 2 short swords
Only.
and 2 daggers. Don't see.
Bro, get on my level. I have 3 daggers.
Damn. I mean, if you really think
If you
about
sell
it,
those,
one
you're
short
pussy.
sword is basically like 2 daggers.
Nah, if you sell them, you're pussy.
By the way, just to be clear, everything that has been identified up until this point, in case I haven't said it in the description, everything requires attunement. Hopefully that's obvious, but I just want to be clear. 'Cause
And
I-
everything's cursed.
and
Everything's
everything's
cursed.
but yeah, I just noticed that the things that I'm writing I haven't been specifying
Just-
attuned.
Just remember, loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Umber,
Well,
you're married.
yeah,
Are you married
yeah.
to the idea of attuning to this thing? Like, what if are you sure you might not change your mind for the buckler?
What?
Are you going to attune to the helmet no matter what?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, what if that buckler's
You're really
powerful?
fire right now.
All right, Coco.
Yes.
I mean, listen.
sure you
you
mark
can
down,
attune to 3 items, right?
That's true.
I
Right,
did.
but you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna have time to attune to another item. In
Not
this time.
tonight.
Fair enough.
Don't fight me. This is me sized.
Oh,
This
God.
hole is me shaped.
This is my hole. It was made for.
This is my hole.
Maybe they just have a very interesting backup character that they want to play.
Yeah, maybe.
How many episodes did it take?
I
for
have
us to
no
get to the
backup
GD to
characters. I'm planning on playing Possessed Umber until I die.
Oh no.
Hey, good thing we replaced Umber with Valerie.
Thank goodness.
Good thing we replaced Umber with Oliver. Hell yeah.
True.
Oliver Newport. That's who
New
Umber
party
will be.
member.
Listen, so far I don't think it'll kill me. It just sounds like, if anything, it'll give me bad stats.
Which will kill you later.
I mean, we haven't seen the buckler yet, so
It's actually just a nerve.
Did
dude.
you-
Put
did you
it
get
on
the
your
information
head,
on the
it'll just
buckler?
shock your brain.
not yet.
Okay.
I'm still channeling the I'm still channeling the mana and ether from the ground into this pearl, and
The pearl disintegrates and the spell's done. By the way, just to be clear, for the sake of just seeing what this is like, for Azreen, she's just closing her eyes, and it's not like she's able to suddenly learn some kind of encyclopedia entry that's in a textbook somewhere. She's literally she's just feeling the aether. She's feeling like what it wants to do, the way that there's the natural flow within these things. These items, just like life, they have actually taken on a kind of like stream of their own, some kind of inner beating movement of aether flowing through it, and the way it flows and the way it turns and the way it's aspected towards different elements will definitely decide kind of what kind of enchantment something might have. And sometimes you can also taste and sense like there's a malevolent force coming off of this, or at least a protective force. So
if you ask Azreen, she says, I close my eyes, a pearl disintegrates, and I know thing.
Excellent.
Her like shoulders like drop and she just sighs. Oh, okay. So the buckler is not cursed.
So I have a chance of this helmet not being cursed. Loyalty.
Once per day, if this weapon is in hand at the end of your turn, you may expend a hit die and subtract the number rolled from incoming damage. This effect does not work against force damage.
Oh.
And
Is that
it
so?
adds +1 to AC while in use.
Sick. Toss it over.
I will send that over to you, Umber.
Are you okay, Salty?
There you go.
That's kind of a sexy item. I won't lie.
You're not here.
some
You're
items are
gone.
sexier than others in their own way. Some of these things are.
Do I still want to tune up loyalty? Helmet.
So we got the great sword, the dagger, the buckler, and now I
have
can do
the red amulet and the green amulet left.
All right, red amulet first because red is.
If that's what you wanted to do. There's also a +1 daggers in Brookill's possession, as well as parrying daggers are taken care of as well.
Dagger that you took from me, you fucking dwarf.
You gave it to me. You fucking.
You said, "Hey, can I see that?" I'm like,
Grecian
"Yeah, okay."
scum.
Brutal.
do I want to stop attuning?
Notably, the hey, who knows what's gonna happen in an hour? You might only have this one chance. Who knows?
I know. Do I want to stop attuning and attune that instead?
You know what the buckler does? A buckler
Hey.
is a weaker shield.
That'll help during battle.
It will. But Umber, just so you know, bucklers are not normally a thing in D&D 5th edition. This is a homebrew item. Normally a shield gives you +2 to your AC. A buckler just gives you half that benefit. It gives you just +1, and it weighs half as much. But, you know, it's a shield, so you have to, like, have the shield in your hand to use. And notably,
I can't use my longbow is the thing.
You wouldn't be able to use your
You
longbow.
put the shield on your back, and then when something attacks you, you just turn away.
You're immune to
Right.
backstabs, actually. That's going to be the next
That's
one that I
an
put on.
introverted sword fighting tactic, and I'm here for it.
Man, I love the Razorback shield from.
Oh, my favorite. I love the turtle armor from Dark Souls 2.
Ooh, I'm gonna look at my stuff and see what things I could use with it. Like
Did
if
you
I
do
have
a
Before,
weapon? Interesting,
Before
yes.
Azreen starts the next ritual, Brukel just kind of heads over and she's like, you know, she's still twirling about, like jingling, and she's like, do I just have to say loyalty, or do I have to actually be loyal? Because like those are completely different things, you know, and like sometimes a little easier than the other. And...
I love you. I don't act.
Brookhill, technically you haven't attuned to your chainmail armor yet. You're doing that now, right?
Yeah, so that's why she's asking. She's like, do I need to say it, or I need to actually commit to the idea?
I mean, you have to at least be loyal to something. At least that's what I'm understanding.
She makes like a disgusted face, like a grimace of just like, ugh.
you can be loyal to yourself, Umber says.
I don't think that counts.
You're an absolute genius.
All right. So how many
At this- at
pearls?
this
She,
point,
she looks
Gareth-
at Valerie
Gareth
and just
returns.
goes, I
Gareth
tried.
is back. Gareth is
She-
back,
she
and
looks She looks at Gareth and just goes, I tried.
actually, you see actually Ahmad on the way back as well, who was getting his sword like sharpened by the same smith that you were from. And we're a little in multiple scenes, but I just wanted to bring up that he sees you and he will ask you, how did the mission go to the top of the tower?
We cleared it without major issue.
This is good news.
Yes. Got some new weapons to use for tomorrow as well. Garrett kind of motions towards the new greatsword on his back.
He'll look at he looks over it. It's like car dudes like that pull up and checking out each other is like he's walking around the back, he's looking at your backside, obviously staring at the sword, and he looks at it from
obviously staring at the sword.
And he'll walk around front again and just goes, "This is a fine blade, worthy treasure for your mission."
What was your missive?
Mine was simply to make sure that I finished the tasks that you would not. But I see that I am going to be pleased to know that you have returned safe and sound.
That was given to you by the lieutenant? That seems strange that they decided to send someone only as a possible backup instead of sending you with us in the first place.
I asked as well. She said something about not wanting to put all of the eggs in one basket.
I suppose.
As for the rest of the night, I am on guard duty.
Well then.
Simple but effective work.
Yes. Keep those eyes sharp. We can't have another one of lose. What was the guy's name again?
Skewer?
Skewer?
Yep. SKJ4.
Another person like that Skewer come in straight into the camp unopposed.
Yes, most peculiar. I find it very strange.
Uneasy to say the least. But I must go and rest and make sure I am at my fullest for the battle tomorrow.
He'll nod once. Rest well, stranger.
As to you.
He departs. Back at the camp, Valerie kissing her dagger and saying that she only has eyes for it. You come back to an argument about the true definition of loyalty and how far it can be stretched.
Garrett does not like this conversation.
Azrain just looks disappointed. Let it be known, Gareth. Gareth, just let it be known I made an attempt.
I don't have anything that I could use with this buckler. I don't have, like, a sword.
Would you like to buy one?
Gareth sets up shop. Oh, wait,
I
Gareth.
suppose it depends. Are you willing to barter?
I'll give you this cursed helmet.
No, you're already attuned to that shit. Hold on.
No, I haven't attuned to it yet.
Can't give it away, it'll kill you.
Closet Scratch is sitting nearby.
Bro.
Loyalty. I have a... I could give... How much would you want for the short sword?
Do you want both of them or just one of them?
Just one. I'm not an animal.
5 gold would be plenty.
Oh, I thought you... Okay, sure. Yeah, have 5 gold.
Okay, cool. You get 1 short sword. Congratulations.
Make sure you add 1 short sword to your inventory. And mark down 5 gold. Gareth, add 5 gold, I guess.
Yes.
Now, Budokeld witnesses the transaction and heads over. Speaking of money, she makes a gesture, saying, give me my money for my armor.
What money are you looking for?
My armor that you took and sold?
Oh, I mean, you just gave it to me. And with that, Gareth turns around and leaves.
Do I have proficiency with
I'm going to chuck the dagger at Gareth. The
+1 dagger?
The +1 dagger.
Okay, roll dexterity check. Are you proficient in daggers?
No.
You are not.
I think
is it dexterity to hit him or
fairly
dexterity to not hit him?
It's a... what are you attempting to do?
Proficient in daggers.
I don't think Brooke thought it through. She probably didn't think daggers are... You can throw daggers. You can hurt
We
people.
let the dice decide. Roll a dexterity.
With a dagger.
Roll dexterity. We're gonna add your proficiency as well.
Oh, okay. Well, you...
So 7 plus what's your proficiency bonus? +2, 9 +1 brings it up to 10. I think what happens is you chuck the dagger and go through the air, and it just goes and it just sticks into the back of Gareth's like upper shoulder area, but it just like embeds the tip like just into like the leather, and it's just sticking out of the back of his shoulder. Is that of his armor? Just caught between the plates, essentially.
Gareth
Damn
was
money!
That was a legitimate
Another free dagger.
you just made.
excellent. Everything's coming up, Gareth. And Gareth goes to his tent.
I'm
He goes to the tent that he will eventually see Brookild in later. Well, maybe. Okay.
You'd have to ask Azarine to set up her little spell, tiny
Yeah,
hut.
but we also have a 4-person tent.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast you in the face.
I've switched to the buckler now that I have a short sword. So
What's
I can
wrong,
use it.
Brookild? Have you been bested at your own game?
I gave you the dagger. Give me my money.
This is I'm apparently running a PvP enabled D&D game. Little did I know.
Have I learned what the red charm does?
You're gonna spend a pearl.
Yeah.
Okay, how many do you have left? This one is gonna
I have
disappear
two.
now.
One after this.
Okay. The red amulet I'm going to send you because it's easy to forget.
Oh, yeah, I want to do... Could have a lot of people let him not a fucking blade. Anyways, now I need to add a +1 dagger to my fucking inventory real quick.
Make sure you keep track of the weight because you
Yeah,
might
I
actually
am.
be in danger now.
Oh, yeah, I am semi in danger. I think I'm fine, though. Alright, dagger... Hold up. Oh, wait, I can just add it. That's right. I can just fucking add it, because that's a normal weapon. It's not a fucking Dalian
Okay.
greatsword.
Hey, to be
What's
fair,
the
I'm not
buckler
sure what
weight?
else it does. I'm not sure if it does anything else.
The
I mean, I'm not gonna fucking attune myself to it.
No, I'm just
so.
telling you so that like when you file it, like make sure that it's clear that it might be a thing, and we
It-
just
it
don't.
might be.
Azarine just calls to the
3-pound
group.
buckler.
Who wants resistance to fire damage? No one?
I am resistant to fire damage.
I believe what I'm wearing is actually wait.
Just hold Umber.
Hold
And you-
Umber.
And you get attuned to Umber, you get resistance.
What
to fire.
I'm wearing is already fire resistant. We got 2 of those now.
Okay. Gareth and Brookhill, do you guys want resistance to fire damage?
I mean, I would not say no.
Wouldn't that just make Gareth take regular fire damage?
Also, Gareth, would that be 3 items you're now tuned to?
That would be my 3rd item. That would be attuned to, yeah.
So you'd be maxed out.
Yeah. I mean, I could always unattune,
That is true.
but like, I mean, like, I'm offering both of the items up first.
Sounds like Azarine and Brookild have first dibs on this fire resistance amulet.
No, I don't like. I'm not supposed to get hit.
All right,
Neither am I.
Azarine, it looks like it's yours if you want to keep it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
I guess I'll attune to it after I finish the last one. Last call before I use it on the green charm.
You got 1 pearl left, right?
Great. Would I know that there's something hidden about this dagger?
Roll an arcana
Because
check.
like,
Let's
because
find
I
out
mean,
if
if
you-
I have to cast Identify, then that means I would also have to fucking attune to it.
Well, like, for example, if you were to attune to the greatsword without identifying it first, I would just say, congratulations, you now have
You're
-2. You
Right,
have
but I'm-
-2, and
but
then you
I'm
have to
saying,
wait
like-
until you hit something on a critical hit for me to reveal that it had any kind of modifier on the critical hit. So you could attune to this dagger and be like, cool, I have a +1 dagger, and I know it does +1 damage because I could just hit. +1 is easy to tell.
Well, I mean, no,
because you
no,
can just hit
no.
stuff.
Okay, normal +1 weapons you don't have to attune to.
You're making a lot of assumptions about the setting based on meta game knowledge of D&D, which I would advise you to be
I'm
careful.
just asking, does it need to be?
Roll a Arcana check, because a lot of items you don't know. There's not a lot of ways to know whether or not.
But to be
Stuff
fair, he
is-
did give it to me, and I did inferred that it had some sort of magical thing going on.
With the 3 Arcana, you know that Brewkild said, like, yeah, it's giving off some kind of magical thing. Just like in the setting that, like, there can be +1 weapons that aren't magical. So if it was just a +1 dagger, it could do that without being magical, or maybe the enchantment is conferring the +1-ness. But, you know, if this thing does confer anything by attunement, there's really only one way to find out. Well, that's not true. There's multiple ways to find out. One of them is cast Identify on it. The other is attune to it, and maybe there's some stuff that, like, for example, if you attune to something and it's like, this item has the ability to let you cast a spell once per day, that you would kind of know, because there's really no way else to find that out. Stuff that's like, if I land a critical hit, it'll do something special, that you won't find out until it happens.
Right.
So that's kind of the caveat. So even if you did attune to this, you might be like, I don't feel any different. It's like, okay, well, maybe there's a trigger. I need to get hit by a fireball.
Okay,
or I
but
need to...
no, all I'm asking for, the only question that I'm asking is, do I need to attune to it? Like, is that an item that needs to be attuned to be used?
Oh, no, of course. Yeah, you can stab somebody in the face with this dagger. Absolutely. No,
okay,
it's
so we'll
fine.
get the +1 damage? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Totally. It's a +1 in this setting, and I don't know. You in D&D, you can have +1 weapons that don't require attunement. So, like, you can easily stab a motherfucker in the face with this, and it's just a very well-crafted dagger. At the very least, it's going to stab people really good. So, yeah, no matter what,
Yeah,
it's a +1.
that's what he told me last. He was like, identified that, like, you know, detect magic does, and I was like, it stabs people, and you were like, but what does it do? And I'm like, you stab people with it.
At the very least, it's a very well-crafted blade. For all we know, it might just be a very well-crafted blade that has a bit of a holy enchantment on it because someone used it as a prayer device. It might not have any kind of enhanced ability beyond that. There could be stuff in this game that's magical, but not necessarily useful in
magic
combat.
item.
Yeah. So, you know, there's mystery here, but no, you can totally use it as just a regular +1 dagger and stab the shit out of people. You don't have to attune to it necessarily, and attuning to it might not even do anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I'm already, like, my attunement on the fucking greatsword, so I'm not gonna attune to another thing this session, this period.
Yeah, because right now we're gonna take this hour by hour.
Right.
So whatever, everybody pick one item that they're attuning to, because then we'll
I'm
handle
going for
whether or not it's the end of the hour or not.
The new threads.
Okay, Azarine, I think you got 1 pearl left. You don't have to use it now. And then there's also this helmet that has nobody's attuning to right now.
And also the oh no, never mind. Kat is attuned to it right now because I was about to say you could also check out the armor.
I mean, like, there's the whole debate of, like, do I just have to say loyalty, or do I have to actually commit to the concept?
Well, you'll
that?
find out one
I'm
way
a
or
bad
another.
person.
I'm gonna use it on the green charm.
Okay.
All right, sure. They're your pearls, and you're the only one who knows identify, so that gives
Is
you
it
full
gonna be
authority,
poison
really.
or acid? Take your bets.
Who knows? Who knows what it might be? But I will send that to Coco.
I now no longer have any pearls, so if anybody wants something identified, you have to pay for it.
And that's all the pearls.
Excellent.
Ooh!
It was actually you sense some kind of force within this green animal. You can see it now. It's actually Gawain, the Cube Slayer. This was his amulet.
She just looks up to the rest of the party.
Gawain of the Jello Bello.
Who wants resistance to acid damage?
Gareth just kind of looks up a little bit in pain, like the one who took 20-something damage in acid.
Those fucking gelatinous cubes do
I
not
died.
fuck around.
Umber fucking died. Shut up. Like,
True. I guess
To be fair-
Umber could have it.
to be fair,
Umber-
Azarine killed Umber.
Umber needs resistance to thunder damage. Is
Yeah,
really more
I
what
need
she needs.
resistance to Azarine.
Also, it's funny that the mermaid is resistant to fire damage.
Well, usually you're hard to set on fire when you're wet.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, she's also resistant to cold, right? So
For
you're not
lights,
just
yeah,
resistant
I'm also
to.
resistant to cold. Cold and fire. So,
It's hard to freeze
Azarine
an
is immune to
entire ocean.
temperature.
It's true.
yeah,
Azarine's salty.
I'm immune to all temperatures.
Okay, so that leaves
So-
the dagger +1, which may or may not be enchanted, unidentified, and the helmet also unidentified.
Yeah. So
Everything
who
else has
wants
been identified.
who wants
the
acid
chainmail.
resistance?
And the chainmail.
But
Actually, I think the chainmail was identified.
I can't even
No.
attune to it right now. I got tuned to this buckler.
Hmm.
And tomorrow night's the helmet.
Wait, no, it is. Yeah, immune to crits.
Okay, if that's the case, then Nazarene, did you? It doesn't really matter, but did you remember
She
to mark
identified
down
back
the
when we were in
pearl?
this room.
I did, yeah.
Okay, so that's everything's worked out fine.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Yeah, the chainmail armor has been identified, and it gives you are immune to critical hit damage. If someone hits you with a natural 20, you just take normal damage.
Nice.
But what about effects that trigger from critical damage?
Well, what it does is it nullifies critical hits, so it would basically mean that like you have not been hit by a critical hit. It's basically like you've just been hit with a normal hit. Yeah, so I guess it just wouldn't trigger. There's some stuff that's like if you roll a 20, then it does something else, so it doesn't necessarily confer. But you're immune to the damage incurred by critical hits, and if an item says like on a crit this happens, then it's like, well, it's not a crit. But some stuff says explicitly like if you roll a 20, then you recover 8 HP, and it's like, well, that's not related to I rolled a 20.
Yeah,
it doesn't say anything about
crit.
being a crit. It just says I rolled a 20, and so you did roll a 20 then. It depends on the word of the thing specifically. Specific will beat out general.
So I'll just keep this in my arsenal. I'm not going to attune to it or anything. I'm just going to keep it in my bag.
Okay.
Smart.
Sounds good to me. You place it in there. The green one?
Yeah,
green
the green
one?
one. I'm
Sure.
attuning to the red one.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, you place the green one in there. And, like I said, Brooke had even asked, and I kind of want you guys to know, just so you know what you're kind of dealing with. Some treasure is like, yeah, this is what was totally, this is the Delian Greatsword. This is Maximilian's helmet, well, maybe. But then there's some stuff that is, yeah, some loot's just randomly generated, and it's to encourage you guys to explore, because it's like, wow, maybe we might find some crazy thing. So just want to let you guys know. Anyway, so everyone's picked their item to attune with, and we're gonna fast forward an hour or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have all my dancer's harmonies back.
Yep. After a short rest, you guys recover whatever you normally do. Spell slots for Brookild and Brookild alone, because warlocks and
All 2 of my spell slots.
all 2 of them, but they're the strongest that they could be. And everyone remember, you can expend a hit die. You can expend multiple hit die on short rests.
I
as
think
well.
everyone who needed to already did.
Okay, everyone's marked them down accordingly.
Actually, you know what? I'll do it. Well, nice.
Oh, not bad. Not bad.
Half
Yeah.
is okay. I'm not gonna take another one.
Not bad.
I
at
can
all.
take another one because I have 4 hit die because some reason.
Umber, how you doing? Well, you're level 4, so you have 4.
I'm good.
No, really? You died and you don't have a need to roll any hit points?
I did it
Roll any
earlier,
hit die?
man.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I thought you were like, no, I don't
I'm
need
good.
to. I didn't realize you already did. All right, sure, that sounds good. Everybody should have only like 2 or 3 left then, right?
That's okay.
Yeah, I got 2.
Wait a minute. A critical failure plus. Oh, when you're rolling a hit die, you don't add your Constitution.
I clicked hit dice,
Just clicked hit dice? Huh.
Yeah.
and it does +1.
That's weird. I'll look at that later. I'm unaware of adding Constitution to recovering over short rest hit die. That makes sense if you're like when you're leveling up. When you're leveling up, you roll a hit die and then you add your Constitution. But I don't know if you do it on a short rest. But I'll look it up later. It doesn't really matter too much. It's just one different. It's just a difference of one.
It's 1
for right here.
HP,
Yeah, I'm only
so-
thinking in the context of Gareth, who might have like +4 at some point.
The answer is yes. You do add your Constitution modifier to your
when
hit
you're
die.
recovering at short rests.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
it makes
Wow.
sense because your Constitution is not
I'm-
only
I'm-
resisting.
I'm cool
getting
with
fucked
it.
up,
I just never did it that way for any of my own characters and other
Yeah,
campaigns.
that's
Oh.
fucked up.
Dude, your characters were baby.
I know. I didn't realize. All right.
It's.
well,
I think it makes sense because it kind of balances tank classes that
eat a
take
lot of
ton more
damage.
damage.
Yeah, no, it does make sense.
Yeah.
I've never done it that way. Now I'm like, well, fuck. But that's all right then.
It
Sounds
does it
good to me.
automatically if you're using Roll20.
That's it's weird that you say that then, because I don't know how I could have. Well, anyway, an hour goes by of you eating some food, stewing up some stew, maybe feeding the hippogriff, and I think Oliver kind of spends a lot of his time just being like, "Hey, buddy," like approaching the hippogriff, trying to like occasionally like feed him a little scrap of food, and the hippogriff, of course, just
That's
being
adorable.
like,
I'm
snapping at
really.
Bass
It makes me happy that Oliver is being proactive about repairing this relationship.
I love that. I love that.
He's just like, listen, I'm a fae. I'm supposed to get along well with animals. And then, like, immediately the hippogriff is just like, snap, and just, like, snatches the meat right out of his hands, and he pulls back. And he's like, oh, okay, whoa, yeah, see, easy. And then he goes back to try and eat his own food.
You have all your fingers still, right?
He looks at his hands, and he counts his little beans. Yeah, he has them all. Actually, the pinky's like, oh, no, just kidding.
I only have 4. Oliver, you're a fox.
None of us really know what that pet is going to do, so it'd be best if you kind of...
Burglars, I guess.
You really
that pet
don't like
has
him,
a
do
name.
you?
What? No, that pet as in Claws That Scratch.
No, I know, but I mean, you really don't like him.
Claws
Like
That
she's
Scratch?
she's asking like you really hate that bird.
Oh, yeah.
He's a hippogriff.
You got something with birds or something?
Yeah, I mean, I do not see the point of having a...
Inquisitors don't believe in enjoyment.
Garrett just shakes his head.
Yeah, there's something
It's
about
a dog
birds.
now, and
Like, it's not like a major issue, because, I mean, he has traveled close to the thing before, but...
Azarine, the fish, just scooting away from him. I mean, he's fine.
Why do you have to say these things when I'm drinking water?
Sorry, for...
I mean, he's fine. Scoot, scoot. Fine.
Scooting away from
fine.
Claws That Scratch.
Just scooting away from Claws That Scratch because fish.
Yeah, Brooke
Yes.
has just had terrible luck with animals, like as a rule. So she's just like, "Wow, please be cute, far away from me."
I miss playing donkey.
Well, you already gave it an impossible task.
Umber's just like shrugging. She's like, listen, y'all are gonna be real jealous when Closet Scratch gets real big and we're riding around together and you guys aren't.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I can just... Ocean. Deep.
Not
deep
a fan
ocean.
of the air myself. You know, clouds are. You know, that's not where dwarves belong.
I don't mind taking a ride to the sky.
I can show you.
At least one of you has
the
taken.
world.
Anyways, so we're gonna time skip, or...
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are done kind of like...
Gareth looking at his watch.
Oh, come on, we want to get out of this conversation. Yeah, as long as you guys don't have anything else you want to discuss, the hour goes by uneventful.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do we...
Are we gonna long rest or short rest? Because I'm out of spell slots.
Well, I mean, we're
Not
gonna
a
try a
package
long
for
rest.
us.
I guess we're gonna try to long rest.
Okay, we're going to attempt to long rest, and we'll see what happens at the end of an hour. So, preemptively, and also the way this game system works, since you like recover short rest and long rest doesn't confer HP anyway, we can just say like, okay, we're going to start the short rest, and they'll transition into a long rest if it goes longer to past the hour to 7 hours. So it's good that everyone already did hit die anyway, and Brookfield's guaranteed the short rest bonus. So we get to the end of the hour. And that is when everybody's going to make sure. I don't know how you want to keep track of it, but on your character sheets, make sure you write down what equipment you're attuned to, and you might want to like write down what it does. And I have written out what everything does, like on paper, so that you can remember it. And I think Azarine has the details, so if she wants to distribute it later, or I can, either way. But do not forget, because I don't want to get like 8 sessions now. Be like, oh yeah, I'm immune to fire damage. It's like, no, you're resistant to fire damage, and also it required attunement, and you have already tuned to 6 things. So I just want to make sure everybody keeps track of that stuff as we get more magical items and unique tools. The hour passes before the lieutenant comes over, Lieutenant Charlotta, and she will look at the people that are here currently, and she notes the Fae, and she kind of gives him a weird look, just kind of a surprised look. It's not disgusted, but it's definitely like, what the? She kind of looks. Anyway,
Gareth stands like as he notices the lieutenant appearing, and then like him noticing her glance, like kind of like steps at attention, but in between her and the Fae. How can we help you, Lieutenant?
I'm looking for some volunteers. We need some more people to shore up the defenses. Scouting, guard duty, wandering the perimeters. I'm gonna need one of you to volunteer, preferably.
I wouldn't mind stepping up.
Don't you need to get your spell slots, or don't you need to recover your magic? I'll be fine, most likely.
I have it.
I don't think Valerie's any.
You recover those at short rest.
You
I
do
recover mine
not.
at short rest, yeah. Wait,
I thought-
wait.
Wait.
You do not recover spell slots on a short rest.
Oh wait, am I thinking of Bardic Inspiration?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are.
Only
yeah,
only
you should
Brooke
probably
does.
rest, Valerie.
I'm the only
I'll
one who gets
volunteer.
the spell slots.
Oh, looks like Garrett's got that settled then.
Very well then. If you could come with me.
Are we sending just Gareth?
Yeah, fuck him.
I only need
Oh,
one, but if you want to volunteer
Yeah,
more,
we
I'd be
asked
more
for
than
one.
happy.
I gotta get my spells back, so I don't know.
Oliver pipes up and just goes, wait, I'm going to go too.
There you have it.
Alrighty then.
Oh boy.
Boys night, boys night.
Umber gets up, goes over to Gareth, and just like leans in close and goes, "If he doesn't come back, I'm killing you." And then she goes back and lays down.
Okay.
That's
Wait,
someone has like we've already stabbed Gareth today. Like we can go the distance. We can.
I was supposed to stab Gareth like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you've pulled off so long.
You're a little
Hey,
over.
It's been like a week.
Listen, now you'll never know when it's gonna come.
Oh.
Stabs him right now.
Admirable.
Unless Oliver doesn't make it back, in which case.
I
We'll
wouldn't
find
mind
out.
that. Thank you. Lieutenant, lead the way.
She does. She nods once and turns around and heads back in towards the main camp. Actually, up ahead, you see a figure in the darkness, arms kind of crossed, up against one of the trees, and it's a bot. And he sees you coming, and he's a little bit kind of surprised at that, but he just nods once. And you are kind of led over, and she gives you a small map. It's been hand-drawn, probably very hastily over the past maybe hour or so. At this point, it's late. It's like probably 1 o'clock in the morning. And she looks down at Oliver, and she looks a little bit... She kind of shakes her head and kind of hear a faint sigh kind of escape her lips. Well, the two of you are going to go on this route here from A to B and back again as you cross by.
Apologies, one moment. And Gareth, like, because he couldn't carry the map, so he's just gonna fish out the glasses real quick, just once more.
She kind of rolls her eyes, but she takes her time. She holds
There
it
we
out.
go. Yes, all right. So we're tracking this trail here.
You feel a weight kind of climb up on you, and eventually there's a furry head next to your own head looking down at the map as well.
Yeah, Gareth kind of like tilts his head to the side so he can see it, so Oliver can see the map better.
All right, the two of you look at the map, and she once again rolls her eyes and sighs, but she goes, all right, from point A to point B will be your coverage. C to B is going to be this other fellow's here. Every hour, I need you to reconvene and just share any information that you might have gleaned. If you notice anything out of sort, I want you to investigate it and deduce whether or not it's really worth waking up the entire camp. And if it is, get somebody immediately.
Understood.
No heroism, please. I don't need any extra losses of life before the battles even start. Anyway, this map is yours. Good luck, good hunting.
Thank you.
And Oliver gives like a salute as well, and she disappears back in towards the main camp. There's other people like there's a good minority, like 40% of the camp is still like awake because an entire camp of soldiers just going to sleep all at the same time is just inviting trouble. But they are the biggest force is resting, and you can hear people still kind of doing some things. There's fires lit as well. Just most of the campfires are out for the evening, and you are just left alone with Oliver, and Oliver will just go, well, I think we just gotta get to it. Good buddy, old pal.
I think just keep a vigilant eye, and 4 eyes are better than 2.
Well, I mean, I wasn't sure if you could see in the dark either, and just wanted to lend an ear as well.
I see. Well, nevertheless, much appreciated.
And he walks with you on the ground for a while. I think that you're going to roll just a perception check as you spend the evening perceiving.
Perception.
That's not bad. Oh, you know what? Oliver's with you, so roll again with advantage as well, or roll again to represent the wonderful. Oliver is like, "Ooh, daisies," and is very distracted apparently. Yeah, with the 10 perception, as you look out into the darkness, into the trees, and out into the open fields, you can hear the river roaring off in the distance, but you do not see any movement beyond that of the grass, the branches waving as the breeze blows through them. Another 20 minutes or so passes, and eventually Oliver just goes, So, about the tower. I didn't mean to lose my cool back there. I guess it was just a bit more than I was expecting to bite off.
No, it's no skin off my. Well, actually, there is some skin off my.
You're missing a lot of skin.
What I'm trying to say is that there's no hard feelings. I mean, I was the one who tossed you away from the things in the first place because
I appreciate it. I do. I really do. I respect that you're trying to keep me safe, but I just feel like a bit of a burden on you, and I didn't mean to do that.
Please, Gareth is about to say something, and then he thinks for a moment. He's like, "Yeah, trust me, you are not a burden."
Oh, yeah, all right, that's good to hear from you. I spend a lot of time wandering from troop to troop, and I can't help but, I just feel kind of like I'm wearing on people's nerves. Or people are concerned with my well-being more than their own. I don't want to get anybody killed because they're more worried about some guy with whiskers than their own hide.
Well, I suppose I could see that as a issue, but trust me, I mean, I would throw my life away for anyone in that group. Basically.
Oh, you have a trouble showing it, you and the dwarf, particularly.
Yes, but I mean, we do bicker, but I mean.
I tried to stab you.
Yeah, she did try to stab me. Maybe I would let her die next time. I don't know. I'm on the fence now. No, it's.
Gareth thinks back to all the other times that his various friends in his life have also tried to stab him, and
he's used to it by now. But no, it's I guess you could call it a knight's duty or some own personal moral code,
Oliver just kind of nods. He kind of every now and then he'll move to all fours as he kind of just like runs through the taller grass to kind of see what else is around. He's also trying to keep an eye out for would-be intruders, and he'll jump back up onto one of the rocks, so he's almost up to your chest height, and just goes, all right, yeah, if that's what you're thinking. I guess I respect you for having this tight-knit group. You must have been traveling together for a long time.
Yeah, it's about 6.5 months now, actually.
That's a real. I don't even. Is the DM even sure that's been that long? Well, maybe actually, half a year roughly at least.
Yep, because I mean, of all the travel, yeah, that's.
Yeah, a month here, month. Well, I don't know.
Ever since
like 4 months. Oh wait, but Dolahan. Oh wait, Dolahan, you were there?
Yes, that was my station.
Oh wow. Must have been pretty tough then. I barely made it out.
You? Huh.
Oh God, no, it was crazy. I was there on business, and before I knew it, there was fire raining down from the sky, and the mountain exploded. I almost got hit by a runaway cart.
Well, that does sound quite awful, Oliver. I do glad to see that you're unharmed from all of that, though.
Yeah, well, we lost a few whiskers, but they grow back.
Good attitude to have. It's yes, a lot of things have happened since then.
Well,
one can only hope for it to all, come to an end soon. For the better, of course.
Yeah, have you ever thought about joining the refugee camp outside the walls? Maybe you don't really have a need for that sort of thing, but have you lost anybody? There's a lot of people trying to regroup.
Garrett kind of falls silent as I have lost some people, and I do believe some people are probably looking for me.
Oliver rolls an insight check. Oliver nods.
Oh no, I don't like that you didn't tell me the number. But the main issue is that I am mainly here. The other four to find basically some sort of answer, and I deem that to be most important.
Oh well, good luck. Everybody's looking for answers in their own ways.
Yes, So what about you? I mean, you said you came up here to get some money, but are you going to return to the refugee camp afterwards?
Oh, no. I was only ever a traveler passing through anyway. I think my time's there. I think the signs from above really are implying that I've had enough of Fort Dullahan and everything else involved in it. I think I'm going to try and start heading home after this.
Home? Where? I'm assuming.
Yeah, Idris's crossed the sea.
Yes, yeah. Mm.
I got a long journey ahead of me. I don't know, it might be a year. I don't know.
I mean, if they even let you out the port, I mean, I'm just assuming. Personally,
His
but,
ears kind of will flap down when you say that.
Excuse I said anything. I mean,
No, you're right. It's tough. There's especially in Windthrow. There's just not a lot of people like me. It's hard to get people to. A lot of sailors think we're bad luck, and it's really tough to get out of that. But I can't blame them. Sirens and stuff like that really give everybody else a bad name.
I would believe that they would. It's really to be tough in your positions, and that I can't say I would envy.
Well, maybe we'll get out of this tomorrow with all the richer in our pockets, and we'll see each other again on the coast. And I don't know. Maybe we can all share a nice meal.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Up ahead, you see a figure coming your way. They're relatively tall, and they have a sword at their side, and they are wearing various long fabrics.
Man.
It is indeed the fellow. He approaches you, and he gives a faint wave.
Gareth returns the wave.
And
anything to report?
Oh, just one. I spotted a strange thing up on the horizons.
Thing? Couldn't tell its silhouette, or?
Birds, dark ones with deep feathers. I'm not certain that I'm familiar with these animals this time of year. Crows or ravens, I know not which, but it gives me an uncomfortable feeling.
And just hearing that, I would say that I feel that same feeling. Oliver, would you happen to know these animals? I'm not too knowledgeable in the wildlife myself.
I mean, there's a lot of crows that hang out around here, but ravens, that'd be pretty out of the ordinary. I wouldn't be able to tell if that's them without seeing them myself, though.
Ahmed, do you think you can get us back to where you saw them?
I could, if you think it is worth our time.
I mean, there's no harm in a quick double check. I mean, 5 minutes out of the way?
More like 10, but all right, if you insist. So, Ahmad turns and he starts walking back the way he came.
Gareth follows.
All right. The Oliver as well. We cut back to the camp, where I think a conversation has been taking place. I'm trying to read it all, and I respect you guys for wanting to continue the RP and using the downtime, but let's see here. Do you want to transition to out of character, speaking out loud?
You want to give them the spark notes?
Basically, long story short, we're talking about how the Inquisitors are super stick up the ass about magic and overall are just rude.
Oh God, yeah, you guys are having a great conversation, and I wish I could get it
with,
for.
Like who has been like not killing Garrus for the longest time? Like who's
Me and
been holding
Brugil
back?
comparing notes.
For
Well, I
the
mean,
longest?
it's not really a matter of who's not killing Gareth, as in who in that group could kill Gareth in the first place.
No,
Oh,
that's
God.
not what we're discussing.
No,
that's not the point at all.
You're not here.
No.
You're not here.
But, yeah,
And then it
And then
led
it was like,
into
Inquisitors are just kind of dicks. Like, threw me in jail
Yeah.
for some absolute nonsense. It's just like, oh
We
my
all
God,
have the same stance as
Yeah,
Inquisitors.
and Umber was like, "Whoa, you were thrown in jail? Like, why the hell would you be thrown in jail?" And then they're like, "Magic," and Umber was like, "Oh, fuck them! They're still doing that."
First,
You're not here.
I'm not.
You're not here.
Fucking.
and then it just progressed into like
gossiping.
and then it just progressed into like, oh, they're a lot more lax with magic use along the northern coast, and then it's just like, oh, troop talk, and then Umber was like, yeah, I'd like to see that someday, and then
Like, wouldn't it be cool if people
Now
could
we're
just
here.
do magic for fun things?
and now we're here.
Very
I
good.
mean, I could. What Valerie and I have been doing was striking deals with some of the local taverns and inns, and we performed the two of us.
Oh,
I
that
haven't
sounds
gone-
wonderful.
I haven't
know-
gone full out yet because magic laws, but maybe in Pella when we get back we can try again.
I don't want to see an opera theater in the next 10 years of my life.
I'm not saying opera.
Well, if we ever go to Idrissus, it would be welcome there.
Prettiest
Probably have a great
about
time with the Fae.
opera were our dresses about it.
Can you repeat that, Rinty? I couldn't catch that.
Yeah.
I said the prettiest thing about the opera was our dresses. That's about it.
I mean, the beginning was relatively nice and then everything exploded.
I was having an anxiety attack that whole performance.
I had a lot of fun.
I couldn't tell, Valerie. You were doing so well.
Dolman was
Because
just
I was
having a
closing
regular
my
attack
eyes.
during that.
Brookhill's just like,
Huh.
I bet she's like, the like when you don't want to cry because you don't want to ruin your makeup and you just kind of like fan your eyes. And she's just like,
Umber
Azrin
hands her
hands
like
her
a little.
tissue.
Yeah.
Azrin hands her a little tissue.
Umber's just gonna pat her on the shoulder. Yeah,
Long
you-
story short, Queen's Landing was really rough.
I see. I can't say I've been to Queen's Landing, but it seems like maybe it's not the best place to go right now.
Unfortunately, stick with us and you're probably never gonna go. We're kind of avoiding it like the plague.
That's fine.
Yeah, we all got our own type of souvenir from Queen's Landing. Valerie drops the neck of her cloak a little and shows a brutal glowing green scar.
Oh, that's not normal.
Definitely not.
Umber, roll an Arcana check.
Yeah, some wounds are physical.
Permanent.
Others are a little bit more.
You don't know
Azrin
about it.
leans
and I
over
do.
and wraps an arm around Brookhill's, comforting her. She also looks very down.
I'm sorry for your harms and losses.
It,
You feel bad. I saw my ex.
You're not here.
You're
Shut up,
not
Inquisitor
here.
scum. I'm not sorry
Yeah.
about you.
But it's in the past, and hopefully we can get on to a brighter future and brighter tomorrow.
I'm sure that's.
Brookill just looks up at Azrin with like mascara tears over her face, and she just like,
God, what a mess.
Brookhill, you really should be using the waterproof mascara I gave you.
I'm sure that's what whoever you lost would have wanted for you, Broodkilled.
Umber, I've sent you a message.
it's fun. It's funnier. It's funnier with the mascara tears.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right.
Here, let me fix.
It makes
Here,
my
let me
eyes
help.
itch a little bit, but you're right.
Let me help you. And she starts like fixing her makeup.
I mean, she's going to bed anyway, so she's just gonna finish ruining it and like.
At least cleaning it up. You should go to bed. It's time to go to sleep.
We should really all do that.
Yeah. I'll
These
probably
damn
stay,
soldiers get up so early.
yeah, I'll probably stay up a little bit longer just until Gareth gets back. At least keeping watch.
You won't keep me waiting, Valerie. Just
Everybody's just like,
Valerie,
"No,
Valerie, Valerie, before you go to bed, actually, would you mind if I join you? I have to talk with you about something. If you don't mind.
sure. She leaves the tent.
Okay, Umber's gonna follow.
You two are separated off on your own as Brookhild casually heads down to sleep. Azrain, are you going to bed as well?
Yeah, I guess if they're gonna stay awake, I'll go to
Wanna
bed too.
interrupt the tent.
Okay. Outside of the tent, Umber and Valerie have absconded to a little bit further away. Your beast of burden continues to fall after you and kind of will spin
good, yeah.
circles on the ground and sit down.
I'm glad he's following me now. That's a good sign. Valerie, may I ask what caused the wound on your neck?
A giant man of some kind, to be honest. I don't even want to say it was a man.
Did they have a name?
They were calling him the Eldritch. Or the Emerald Knight? It was the Emerald.
yeah.
Emerald Knight. I see. Valerie, do you know what that wound is?
No, I just know that I took it to save some people I didn't know.
Valerie, you've been cursed. What that is an aether wound.
From
It's
the look of it, I would have guessed as much.
it's not something to be taken lightly.
Tell you, I definitely haven't been taking it lightly. In fact, I haven't been able to take my mind off it since it's happened. You know anything more in specific?
It's caused by Fae. Well, strong Fae. The real ones that people think about, not like Oliver or any of those or sirens. It's
So a truly mythical being.
powerful. It's like a form of cancer, Valerie. I don't know myself if there's a way to get rid of it, but
What's happening? Sorry.
There's a way about cancer. The only way that I could even suggest getting help for it is if I were to take you back to Aegis. And I think that's something you might want to consider.
I'm glad you've told me, and I will definitely look into it.
When Oliver and Gareth come back, I'd recommend that we ask Oliver if he might know a little bit more. I assume he probably just knows just about as much as I do, but maybe he's heard something that we haven't.
Well, I appreciate you bringing it to light.
Of course.
Bad news, but nonetheless, news.
Well, at least we know what it is, so maybe we can fix it. You should probably go rest too. I can wait up for the others.
I think I need that about now.
Umber kind of gives her a small smile.
My dear Gareth friend, how you doing?
Yes.
Hey, you're out on the wilds. You've gone down the hill more towards the forest. Make a survival check. You're tracking something specific, and you'll take advantage because you're with your friends. Well, acquaintances.
Oh, thank God it was on.
With a 15,
Thank God it was on the advantage.
yeah, it's on the advantage. With a 15, you are able to look through the ground, and though you don't have footprints to follow, you do actually see small black.
The implication that
feathers.
Gareth did none of the work and his friends just made it work.
Well, Garrett just like looks around like, and it's actually like Oliver who finds like the quills, the little black feathers, and Ahmad is also kind of like digging through the brush to see if he can like root out any kind of animals.
God, I miss my ranger.
Guess like what would Umber do? And you're like, Umber would look up, and you look up and you do see.
Oh no, I was talking about Forest, all the way back in episode 1.
Oh God. You do see a small black like feather on one of the brush, and you follow it a bit deeper into the wood, and do eventually, after several minutes of walking with Ahmad and Oliver following behind you, you can hear some rustling in the brush. What do you do? 15 feet to your left, there's some brush with thorns that are kind of starting to shake a little bit at your presence as you step closer.
Gareth immediately starts to slowly unsheath his sword from his back.
Which sword? Have you decided on whether or not you're selling the other one?
Oh no, I kept the Great Claymore, but I can still carry it with the Alien Greatsword. I'm bringing out the new hotness.
Okay, you bring out the new
You're going
hotness.
full Geralt with like the double sheet on the back.
Yeah.
Sexy. You
Except
get,
it's fucking Greatsword.
you take out the Delian Greatsword, which is like probably twice as fat in terms of like just the blade thickness, front to back, not necessarily side to side. Still very thin, razor sharp edge, and you continue to walk towards the brush. Okay.
Yeah.
As you get closer to the brush and you kind of try to take small footfalls to kind of keep from anything cracking, I'm going to ask you to make a stealth check.
Damn, this is gonna suck.
Snap. You step on a twig underneath your feet and you hear a little crunching sound, and you look down and look up just in time to see what appears to be a large black mass come running out from underneath the brush. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, you got it, boss. Ha ha!
Damn, you jump up and out of the way just as a boar runs past. And you
no
feel
bird.
your right leg is almost caught underneath their trampling. It's not a very big animal, but sharp tusks, and it almost skewered your knee on its way by. It continues past you and down into the rest of the way, going deeper into the wood. You hear it squealing as it goes. And Ahmad just goes, we have to go deeper. They must have moved.
So something must have spooked it, though.
Indeed, this is a strange place, I suppose. My skill is not with animals. Furry friend.
His name is Oliver.
Oliver points up at Gareth, kind of like, yeah, he's got the right of it. And Ahmad just goes, very well, Oliver. Do you have any skills, perhaps, that could assist us in this endeavor? Oh, yeah, a couple. Here, let me... and his nose to the ground just starts smelling. He's going to roll a track. Okay, he gets pretty good. He starts going deeper into the woods. He smells the feather that you got from earlier. He smells that, and he's trying to like pick up the scent. And he stands up on his hind legs every now and then to... he transitions from like all fours to hind legs pretty evenly. And you go deeper into the woods.
Yep.
Eventually, you hear a caw, and you look up and you see a rather large, dark black bird looking down at you with beady black eyes from above. And it unfurls its wings a little bit and beats the air and starts preening underneath one of its wings, and then looks back to you, tilts its head. It caws once.
So is this what you saw, Ahmed?
Yeah, something like this. There's many more of them, though. I've never known a bird like this, a carrion hunter, to be so bold.
Oliver, what do you think?
Oliver kind of like the hair is standing up on the back of his neck and like on the back of his where you can see like his vest not covering, his fur's kind of like standing up and down. And he's like, I don't know, I got a bad feeling, and he kind of will hunker back between your legs.
Yep.
And the bird looks down again, and it caws a lot louder this time, and it beats its wings. Roll an animal handling check or a nature check, your choice.
Animal handling or nature?
Yeah.
Animal handling. Hey.
18. It's a lot bigger than any raven you're familiar with. This is like about twice as big, but it doesn't seem to have...
I don't know. We know a pretty good bird.
You know a pretty big bird.
Fucking big bird.
You know a pretty fucking big bird, but its eyes are very dark, and you actually hear more caws as it looks down. It kind of looks at you. It caws once, almost kind of like challenging you, as it kind of unfurls its wings and makes itself a bit bigger. And Oliver kind of like will hunker down as well, and even Ahmad, he reaches for his sword, but he takes a step back as well. But you just kind of like stand strong and just kind of stare it down with your sword drawn, and it stops cawing, and it turns its head a few times and blinks, and then it flutters off deeper into the wood.
And all the calling did that. Like there's no because you said that there were some others with it, or was it
deeper into the wood? You heard more cawing. You didn't see any more, but you heard it just off in the distance. It's like caw over here and over there. But they all seem to be kind of silencing. You don't hear any more as this one kind of flutters deeper into the woods.
Gareth thinks for a moment. Oh, wait. I agree that this is something unnatural, but the way it seems to be moving, it almost seems to be beckoning us to it. I fear that it would almost want us to follow, which doesn't bode well for our normal missive. Just to keep an eye out on elsewhere.
Do we pursue deeper then, or are we to return?
No, I do not trust that haven, but also I do not trust leaving our posts.
I could return and watch.
But
I could even sound back to the lieutenant if you do not return in 10 minutes' time.
And Gareth is kind of struck with indecision once more, and like he kind of thinks back to the opera where he saw something that didn't sit right, but he didn't on it. And yes, I feel it might be better safe than sorry. I think you. Yes, please go back to the lieutenant and just have her bring out or two or three or even one additional guard. I do not want to be playing into their hands, Ahmed, but I do not see what else I can do.
He'll nod. I will go and do this thing, but if there are repercussions for her wasting resources...
If that comes to pass, then I'll take the brunt of the blame.
He shrugs.
There.
Good luck, stranger.
Aye.
And Ahmad will
Thank
turn
you.
around and walk back towards the way he came, keeping an eye out into the brush as he goes. All right, well, if you're going to go deeper into the woods, I'm assuming you'd like to do this stealthily, but maybe that's a bold assumption.
Oliver, do you want to go back with Ahmed?
No, I've
No.
come this far, and besides, it doesn't seem like you can find your way through the forest very well. I think it'd be leaving you blind if I left you now.
Oof.
I mean, I would have appreciated
Your brother.
Listen, honesty.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. All right.
We all have our strengths.
I suppose so. Let's get moving. We are wasting time here.
All right.
And yeah, he's gonna approach stealthily, I suppose.
Sure, make a stealth check for me, and
Garbage.
yeah, garbage stealth check. But you are with a rogue. You are with
Yeah.
a rogue.
Does that really change it? I mean, I'm wearing splint armor.
Yeah, you do have the disadvantage no matter what. So it'd be the 5, but... Mathematically, I don't know if there's any way I can assist you in this endeavor.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be a nullified roll, essentially. So it'd be normal anyway. You continue into the brush. After a good 5 minutes' time, you actually hear the faint sound of water running. Like a waterfall. And
Gareth pulls out the fucking map that the lieutenant gave to him. Can I orient myself?
That's going to be a survival check with advantage, is what it's going to be, because you have a map, you have a tool to assist you in this endeavor. It's highly detailed for the local area. All right, yeah, with a 13, you're like, oh yeah, okay, there's a waterfall in here. She drew a faint, like, this is actually the waterfall that feeds the river.
All right.
And it must be up ahead, just a few paces more.
Oliver, do you hear the birds anymore, or
No, but I hear voices.
voices? Shit.
I don't understand some of them, actually.
Can I hear them?
Roll a perception check. Brookhilda's gasping, and I don't know why, but...
Because Garrett said a big word. Bad
Voices. With an 11, you try to listen in really closely. Do you hear? There is some faint words, but like it's a very strange thing that you're hearing. What languages do you know?
I know Arkevan, Common, and Imperial.
You do not recognize the words. You hear bits of Common every now and then. It seems like somebody is speaking to somebody else, and the majority of the conversation is taking place in a language you do not know, but the other person's like they don't know the language of the other person well enough, so they end up having to default back to like this word. But you hear some voices coming from the same way as the waterfall.
But not enough to make out any parts of the conversation. Just
Not with an 11. But if you want to try and get closer, you can, but that'd be another stealth check, and that'd be taking a risk.
I mean, what am I gaining from just being out here if I can't hear them?
Roll stealth check.
And fuck. So wait, we're both. So me and Oliver are in the same situation that we don't understand the language that they're speaking for the most part.
Oliver doesn't. He's kind of like listening, but he doesn't seem to understand it either. It's a language he doesn't know. He's like, I know Imperial, Common, Fey. I don't understand it.
Oliver, I would hate to ask this. You are definitely the more quieter of the two of us. If anything goes over, I promise you I will be the first into the fray.
Roll persuasion check. With advantage. You had a bonding moment with him earlier. Well, it's a good thing I said something, huh? That's your second critical failure tonight, buddy. How you doing? Are you okay? You sick? With a 12, he kind of... All right, yeah, I can take a peek.
You don't have to put yourself in too much danger, but just... We need to get some sort of...
All right, I'll do it. You're right. It's for the group, for the army. Here we go. I gotta earn that check. I'm making a lot of money. Here we go. And he gets down on all fours and he skitters into the brush. And for a faint moment, would be a fun part in a video game. The next level begins and you transition to controlling Oliver. For a moment.
I hate this.
Yeah, so you are now about 3.5 feet tall. As you skitter through the wood, we see as he goes.
By the way, I'm leaving Gareth. He is like kind of like he is crouched, but like he has like the greatsword like at the ready, basically. Like,
sure.
Lowered, but at the ready.
Yeah, Oliver's got he has a small sword. He has a short sword. To him, it's a long sword, but it's a short sword, and he's got his bow.
I'm just saying Gareth is. So as soon as I fuck up, I can be like, hey, Gareth sprints fucking in.
Sure. Well, we'll see what happens though. Oliver will go through the brush, and he kind of stays low to the ground. And there's actually some other signs of like larger animals, like coyotes and stuff. And he kind of like, and he keeps pressing forward. Eventually, he gets to the point where he sees the larger river up ahead. It's a very cool night, barely lit by a very still moon, and he sees two figures standing on the horizon. One is a lot more difficult to see than the other, like they just blend into the background a lot better. And he's going to make a perception check. So Gareth is going to make a roll, but we're going to add his modifiers. We're going to add Oliver's modifiers.
All right, I'm just going to roll a d20, flat d20.
Sounds good. This is a perception check for
Fuck.
him. Okay, that's not bad. That's a 10 for Oliver. He's good at 3 things, and perception is one of them. And he is also going to roll a stealth check. But he is a rogue, so he has expertise in perception and stealth. Okay, yeah, so that ends up being a 12 by the time it's all said and done. No, I'm sorry, a 13, because it's plus 8.
Why you make me roll for Oliver? This sucks.
You can listen. This is the price. But yeah, he just hunkers down and he gets his head down low and he's trying to look in and listen. And what he sees, and hopefully he lives, so this doesn't create any kind of like parallel loop thing where it's like everything I just described to you have to forget because Oliver couldn't relay it to Gareth. But what he sees is a rather tall, masculine-looking figure with like antler horns attached to his shoulders, and on his shoulder is actually several ravens on the antlers. And he has some furs that kind of like trail down his back, and he's talking with another figure that is like very warped looking, like their legs are like digitigrade, like a bird's legs, where they have their knees they have like 2 knees, one bending forward, one bending back, and they have a long neck that kind of angles a bit forward, and this other figure is, even though the masculine figure they look human and they have a very tall physique to them, this other figure is like, if they were to stand up straight, you would imagine that they're like 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall. And they have they have shiny things around their belt, and they're wearing some armor, but a lot of their skin is exposed. But where their skin is exposed, it's hard to see. And Oliver actually sees like shifting color across that figure's skin, but they're talking in a language that Oliver does not understand. But every now and then, the man trying to reply says like, tomorrow soon we will have this thing. And then he just cuts back into talking in the other language of the other figure, and the figure will only ever reply back in this language that Oliver does not understand.
Okay. So we got a Raven dude, and then we got
some kind of freaky alien motherfucker is what you.
We got freaky alien motherfucker. Was the armor like the cover like fully covered in armor? Was that the alien dude?
Yeah, they're both wearing. One looks like they're wearing fur armor and hide. The other one looks like they're wearing like metal armor.
Metal armor.
And their bones are like warped and stuff. They do not look human.
I know. Fucking Bone Boy is scoring. I'm trying to think of the other one. Who this could be?
Huh?
Well, wait, no, because he's not speaking. He doesn't have the same character voice that you gave him before.
Well, you're listening to Oliver. Who knows? What did Oliver? Oliver did not roll very high. Let's see. He just used a few.
I did not roll very high. No, I did not.
He'll just hear things like "Tiat rignagn alatan hatstan," and then the figure like tries to reply back like "Superus tiendet lutan," and is very clearly struggling with the language but trying to reply. Things well set. It is important for the Sepach, the ceremony.
Okay, yeah, that's Scorn talking right there.
Just skewer. There's no one. I think Brookhill just typed it.
Scorn, skewer, yeah. Other dude's freaking me out. All right, I think that's. I think that's all we're gonna learn. So I think I want to call.
Sure, and with a failed stealth check, Oliver turns around and breaks off a twig. There's a faint crack sound, and Skewer immediately just turns and looks, and when he does, there's actually just his left eye is glowing white, and the other eye it's like it's empty. And Oliver just sees that, and then the alien motherfucker turns as well, a lot slower, and the head kind of like twists a little bit, almost like a bird, like the way they kind of like turn like in sections, and makes eye contact with the area that Oliver is in, and that figure just like disappears one section at a time. Their skin just starts to look more and more green and dark blue, broken apart, they look like a chameleon. The way it slowly transitions into looking like its own background, and that figure is actually gone. And then there's
Can Gareth have his reaction?
Gareth,
I had him primed to do an action as soon as.
Yeah, but how does? Don't worry. Well, yeah, he will, but there's no way he knows that there's an issue yet.
Well, am I not? I guess not. I guess he's.
Oliver hasn't called out or anything like that. And if you were close enough to see Oliver, then you would have been close enough to be seen by them, and you were afraid of being noticed by bad stealth checks. So Oliver's gone up ahead. But maybe Oliver will do something in a moment. We'll see. But
I'm Oliver, right?
We'll find out.
I'm doing something.
Oliver spends his action to fail a stealth check, and then they spend their action to turn and notice that, and then the other figure just turns invisible, and then they're gone for a moment, and then through the water. You just see a splash, 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 splash as the water is kicked up by something moving through it that Oliver can't see. And that freaks Oliver the hell out. And he is going to make a Constitution saving throw.
He's not going to yell? He's not going to yell? He's not going to yell? Great.
Make a Constitution saving throw, my dear friend.
I'm gonna slap your cheeks so fucking hard.
Oliver is met with 2 options, and that's either to try and re-hide again or flee or do a number of things. But please roll a Constitution saving throw. Please roll a d20.
Fuck God. Fuck you.
All right, 18. That's pretty good. Yeah, he steals his will, and in the face of this figure storming towards him invisibly, he manages to resist the fear that kind of like grips him, and getting back on all fours, he bolts. And Gareth actually would just hear a yowling off in the distance.
And he bolts towards that sound.
Sure, roll initiative.
You got it, boss.
Hey, friends in the party that are on the camp, how's it going? You guys all just going to sleep?
Sleepy.
I have cancer.
Sure, sleepy time. Valerie is having a grand old time, worried about her wound now, and Nazarene and everyone else has gone to bed, attuned to their new items, sleeping soundly, knowing that they have these lovely gifts.
Maybe I should actually write up
I was looking up for Gareth.
Okay, I'm first awake.
I was waiting up for them. I was like, oh, maybe they'll come back soon.
Okay. Gareth, what happens next is you just see out from the brush, like going like 20 miles an hour, which is fast for him. You just see the Oliver on all fours just bolting past you as fast as he possibly can, mouth open, tongue like wagging out, essentially, ears flat against his skull, as he just kind of goes bolting past you and past your legs, and you just hear like earth being like kicked up by some other figure like running towards you, but you do not see them. And Oliver does not have enough time to retell you what he has just learned. He just yells, "Watch out!" And that's it. Make a athletics check for me, or an acrobatics check, and you're going to do so at disadvantage because you cannot see what's coming towards you. You just see like branches parting.
You can't say
You just heard yelping sounds, and then Oliver come running through the brush and he just goes, "Watch out!" And you kind of like just steel yourself for a second. You're like, "What?" And you just see the branches that he just came out of in the briar just kind of like getting kicked all up and parted, and then there's nothing for a second, and you're just kind of standing there, and then you just feel something collide with you like right in the throat, right at your collarbone, and you actually will hear something snap. Okay, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
So something snapped, I only took 3 points? Fuck off!
Well, listen, you're a big boy. I'm giving you... I take bad things away. I give good things to you. You're mad at me no matter what. But yeah, something collides into you. Take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, and you're just knocked straight back on your back. And there's just a force on top of you. You are grappled for just a short moment before whatever kind of figure above you is looking around for Oliver, and it sees Oliver, and you just see this shifting mass. It's kind of like the Predator, like from the movie, like that effect of just like a faint shimmering of like the background. You're kind of like looking up at this thing.
Is he like? Oh, so he was holding me, but now he's going to let go of me.
Yeah, he lets go of you and tries to, and just
Fuck you.
He smashes onto you.
I'm holding.
Now it's your turn. Yeah, it smashes into you, does some damage. It's clearly not trying to. It didn't try to just like stab you or whatever. It just smashes you into the ground. You're on your back and it's on top of you, and then sees Oliver, and then you feel the weight leave you as it tries to jump off of you towards Oliver. Now it's your turn.
Can I try to like grab before the weight leaves me, so I know where he is?
Sure, that's an athletics check to try and grapple somebody.
Okay. Fucker!
It's an 8. Well, it's contested, so they might roll bad. They might roll bad. However you like it when I roll stuff in front of you.
God damn it. God damn it.
Real good.
That's a 13. You feel it leave you as they jump forward, and you kind of like just try to like grab their leg, and you catch on some of their armor. They have some kind of like shin thing onto the leg, but it's a big meaty leg like a tree trunk, and it just slides past you, and it does kind of send them a bit sprawling. They did not jump where they targeted to, which was pouncing on Oliver, and they do fall away to the side. You are free of them, and they are free of you, and you just see this shifting mass again. Some of the color is starting to show back again, but you can't quite see all of it. You are able to stand back up on your next turn. Right now, you're kind of just like on your knees in the middle of standing up. They see you and you see them, and they actually make a pass at you. They are going to attack you. They shift. You see something coming at you. Oh, they miss. You just see the movement as it goes through the air.
And I'm spending a superiority die.
To use your reaction to do something?
To riposte. So I get to do a free attack.
To what?
Because they failed to hit
Riposting.
me.
Oh, okay.
So now I get to riposte.
I see. Go for it. That's a
So
fighter thing.
Yes, that is a fire thing.
Awesome.
That's a 25 to hit.
Yeah, believe it or not, that does hit.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that's 11 slashing damage on that bitch.
You're not quite sure where to. Technically, it'd actually be a disadvantage, but it's the 22, and I knew that anyway. So no matter what you hit, and because you can't really see them, but you have a very good idea of where to throw your sword, and you swing
And
it
a
through the
very
air.
big sword.
Yeah, it's hard to miss.
Well, I mean, like he pounced at me before, and he's gonna do it again. So
Yeah, it works out.
doing the same thing, fucking get hit.
With you just carve up the sword, and this is its first night out, and it's a big heavy blow that just collides right into the side of it, and you hear just a crunching sound as it strikes the metal of their armor, and you see like sparks kind of emit off of it as it does so.
Wait a second, was that actually a critical? Because look, hold up.
It
No,
would
I
be-
got a 19. I'm so mad.
You're so
I was
close.
1 off for getting a critical in the
I
first
know.
fucking roll on that bad boy.
That'd be cool. It would be green, right? Also,
It's just a
It
fucking
would be great,
25. Deal with it.
that's true.
I've
No, I
never rolled
won't.
higher than 15 to hit something in my
Brute
fucking
kill.
lifetime. So
You
shut
do your
the
best.
fuck up.
You hit you do 11 points of damage. You feel, and they are struck hard. After that, there's this they kind of like reel back this figure, and you just hear a faint like clicking sound, like this deep throated clicking sound, and a faint
It's my
kind of.
turn.
Yeah, it is your turn.
Free action. I am telling Oliver to run.
Roll either persuasion or intimidation.
Well, I don't want to intimidate him, but I'm like, just keep going.
You pick then. Persuasion then.
No, fuck you. I want this to succeed.
Well, then you know what you have to do. Yeah, you're like Old Yeller. You're like, get out. You just like kind of bark at him, and he kind of like jumps back and recoils a little bit, but then he nods, and then he bolts back towards the camp.
He now likes you significantly less.
Don't you dare say that to me. I'll kill you.
And you are left alone with this
That's
entity.
if Cancer doesn't get her first.
And I'm not talking
I'm
about
naming my sword Cancer. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Anyway.
Valerie, you have years. You don't know. Also might not be to have. But yeah,
So this thing,
Is
when
your
I
turn.
hit it, did I get to see it any better?
only for a moment. It is definitely, it's an invisible creature, which means that you have disadvantage to try and attack it, and it has advantage against you. But you are able to kind of identify where it is at any given time, so you don't have to make guesses at like what square to attack. You can
Right.
say, I'm like, for the benefit of this is you're able to like, it is there in front of me, but you're not sure like, is it in a defensive stance? Like I don't know.
Question: Is it like human like is it more bestial or is it more?
I can tell you some very vague stuff, and if you want more details, you're gonna have to use your action to make it like an investigation check. So I will
Okay.
get.
Give me the vague details first.
Okay, it is a bipedal creature with bilateral symmetry. So it's got one arm on the left side and one on the other side, and it is got digitigrade legs, big legs that are very strong, and it is big. It is as big as you are. It maybe looks a little bit more lanky in the muscle department, but it is a big creature, and it is difficult to tell. When you hit it and the sparks bounced off its armor, you got a little bit of a look at it, and it had this very strange texture to its skin. That's all that you can really tell, though. It's armored in places. It is wearing armor, and it seems to have a weapon in its hand as well. It had like a sword or an axe, or it had some kind of tool. If you want more than that, you're gonna have to use your action too. And right now
No,
it's
I know-
backed off, and it's kind of just like it's kind of a bit lower, and it's kind of meeting eyes, and it's kind of pacing to the left as you're pacing to the right.
Gareth, letting go of his left hand from the sword, is going to grip his hand into a tight fist, and cast Firebolt directly up into the sky.
Okay. The clearing that you're in is illuminated with a harsh orange light, and there's a striking shadow against the ground as well when you do that. This thing is not truly invisible; it's camouflaged, but it still casts.
But also
a shadow.
that Firebolt went
Yep.
above the tree line.
It definitely, at the very least, it goes above. So
Excellent.
a streak of fire goes into the sky, and you faintly see like some shine off its eyes for a moment as it kind of sees what you have done.
And yeah, that's my move.
Lao Tzu, Tamadara, Diaf, Dehender, Nyat Ton.
Yeah, fuck you too, buddy.
It flees into the woods. You hear the sound of clinking metal behind you, and as you look back far away, you see Ahmad, and he is flanked on the side by the lieutenant and one other soldier, and also Oliver. Oliver's riding Ahmad's shoulder.
Question. We were still in combat range when I hit it.
That's true. If you want to try and make
So
an attack of opportunity.
Attack of opportunity.
Wait. You're right, because it's your action.
Yeah. Because you didn't say he disengaged.
No, but he would have, because there's...
Nope, too late. You didn't say it.
Well, on the one hand, fuck you, I can do that if I want to. But on the other hand, you're right, you can't make it attack of opportunity, because he would rather use his action to dash. But we've already established before, if you can remember what it is that you want to do on your turn, and it's not too deep into the next person's turn, and it doesn't involve damage, then you can resist.
Hey, I'm gonna roll the D8. And he has to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. You do not know its stats, so I'm just rolling the 20.
I don't.
Okay.
It succeeds.
Fucker!
Oh, yeah.
Damn it!
That's the way the dice fall.
Ah!
Still takes the extra damage though.
It still takes a total of 16 damage, yes.
Okay, you carve into it, and you see blood kind of like splatter across the bark, but it does keep running. It is not knocked prone by your battle maneuver, unfortunately, and it just disappears into the brush. In a moment, Ahmad and the lieutenant catch up to you, and they are beside you. And the lieutenant is actually holding a torch and says, "What was that? What were you fighting?"
I have no idea. The thing was invisible. It tried to attack Oliver, and I had to get in between the two of them.
Oliver seems a bit shooketh, but he nods his head. And the lieutenant kind of steps forward into the darkness and tries to lower the torch to see a bit better, but just goes...
It seemed to run when it noticed the rest of you, as well as my signal.
He was smart then.
Unfortunately, I hope there's only one of them like him. I mean, I couldn't tell you what race he was. I didn't even know what he was speaking, unfortunately.
Well, we can discuss more when we're back. I think that your shift is near its conclusion regardless.
Thank you for your haste to come into my aid.
Oh, thank you for not being dead by the time we found you.
Aye.
Ahmad will keep his sword unsheathed, but he also will nod once, and he'll start to make his way back, kind of like keeping an eye out for any movement amongst the trees.
Gareth will kind of kind of as kind of adrenaline's kind of like going down. He finally feels that like soreness in his shoulder. He's just like, good God. Oliver, are you all right?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Just spooked. I get a little.
Yeah.
A lot.
Sorry for yelling. I just wanted you.
No, I understand. I get it. It's not the first time I've been yelled at to get out someplace.
That's not.
Ouch.
I think we could use some rest.
You return back to the camp. Umber, you see Gareth. He is with Umber. I'm sorry, Oliver.
And Gareth is kind of clutching his clavicle. Is that the right word? No.
His collarbone?
His collarbone. Is
Yeah,
it
that's
clavicle?
Clavicle is like
Yes,
the
they're
shoulder
the same
bone.
thing.
Same
Same thing? Yeah, he's kind of like clutching that kind of area, kind of.
I'm assuming I can tell that they look a little worse for wear.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, Oliver didn't take any damage.
He
But he
looks
looks
psychologically damaged.
Yeah.
I only took 3 damage. Hey.
I'm not worried about you.
Yeah, I know you're not.
Umber kind of gets up and races over and just kind of like looks at the two of you
You're
and just
up
goes,
late.
well, Yes. Anyways, what happened?
We found the skewer and something with him. I was able to fight it off, but it was invisible, and I couldn't understand what it was saying.
A dragonborn?
Make an insight check. Or nature check. Probably more fitting, to be honest with you. Does
Nature.
Gareth attempt to, like, you know, for the sake of brevity, do you describe?
Yeah,
the
I
creature?
describe. I don't hold anything.
Okay. So then Umber can make a nature check.
Umber kind of like and thinks. Nah.
It's tied. Maybe. Sounds like it. Who knows?
That's all I could assume if you didn't understand it, and if it's something completely different, all I can think of is Dragonborn, considering that's what we're supposed to be up against. But still,
I hope not all of them can turn invisible like that.
I imagine that one's a magic user of some sort.
It was awfully strong for a magic user.
Hmm.
Broke my
Hey, rude.
fucking collarbone just by running it into me.
Well, that's a shame. Oliver, are you okay?
He nods. No, I'm fine. It was a bit scary back there.
We're literally just like, well, sucks to be you, but
A lot of adventure for one day, but I'm good now. Gareth took care of it. Took care of me. I'm safe and sound. We're fine. We're all fine. I saw that guy again, the weird one that was handing out the wine. I guess he is working for the enemy. If that was a Dragonborn.
I'm glad you two are all right.
Anybody know Draconic or Dragonbornish in this party?
No,
Doubtful.
not to my knowledge.
Somebody in this camp might. However, that you brought up something that I'm a little bit worried about. The Skjorg or Skjorn or whatever his name
Skjor?
is. Skjor? Yeah, that too. He made it sound as though it was all pleasantries when he gave us those drinks, but is anyone else even the slightest bit worried that perhaps they could have been laced with anything?
That would go against his code.
His
I would not be
supposed-
worried at all.
His supposed code. We don't know this man.
To make a point, Gareth stares, reaches out to uncap one of the skins that he has that was still filled with the wine, and takes a massive sip.
Dies.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Oh yeah, it's alcohol.
It's alcohol. I mean, do I get advantage at least because it's?
Just make the skill check that the DM is. Nothing happens.
Yeah, exactly.
It just tastes like wine. Relatively watered down
yeah,
wine.
you can drink the maple leaf.
Oh wait,
tea.
no,
It's
that
gonna
was
be
super
fine.
strong. That was like the unadulterated wine.
Yeah, that's the one he took for himself.
Yeah, so it's strong stuff, but no, nothing happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any kind of tang to it, or
Gareth, I'm not worried for you.
Ouch.
I didn't expect to, but I'm telling you, he wouldn't have laced it with anything, Umber.
Wouldn't we already be dead?
Yeah, probably. It's been a few.
it's been a few hours.
It's been a few
It's been
hours.
a
It could
while.
it could be anything.
That's
though.
some weak ass poison if it's been an hour and or it's been a few hours and none of us care.
I'm not necessarily saying
And before
it's...
Brookel wakes up in the morning and everybody's dead.
A dwarven
Umber kind of
resistance.
looks at Gareth though and gives him a kind of
We
I'm not
killed each
stupid
one.
look.
Your immune system is strong.
Umber, what did you say? I can't hear you.
Umber just gives him like a "that's not what I'm talking about" look and just says, "I don't mean it could necessarily be poisoned, Gareth. I'm saying if that thing could turn itself invisible, if you came across them having a midnight chat, which is already a little odd, it could be anything. I mean, for God's sakes, we went up against necromancers back at the other village."
Agree, but something that's would not. Sorry. Brooke's out. I'm already saying, like she's not allowed to wake up. The only character who's not allowed to wake up is.
Umber kind of
There we go, baby.
Umber kind of like waves her hand like dismissively though and just says, "Well, regardless, I just think it's something that we should at least think
Just
about."
make sure you keep sharp eyes out tomorrow.
Of course, when don't I? Now, I'm gonna go back to rest. I'm glad you guys are
I'm gonna
back.
go find a doctor to set my bone.
I can. Azurin comes out of the tent. Here, let me see.
All right. And Gareth slowly starts to like remove like the splint from at least from his left shoulder.
Oh, nasty. Ugh. I mean,
But it's small. But you said he broke my fucking collarbone.
Right, okay, but to be fair, there's nothing that's easier to break than a fucking collarbone on your entire body.
Fair enough.
Also, the worst thing to break, mind you.
Like, you'd take a break in real life if you took 3 damage. You'd be like, yeah, you know what? And like, yeah, breaking a collarbone's actually super easy.
I hate how
You do know
horrible
how
it
to
is.
get it, yes, Azarine?
yeah. You're gonna feel little warmth. Yeah. No, I'm using a spell.
Well,
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't
that's-
use a spell for 3 damage.
yeah. That's why I
Alright,
said I
then.
was gonna go find a doctor.
Alright, that's fine. I'll just set
Just
it.
punch him really hard, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Medicine check. Medicine
Alright.
check.
Do it.
Alright.
And Umber's
Brace
watching.
yourself. She just snaps it back in place.
Can you do that to collarbones?
Yeah.
Azarine, I thought you worked with a troupe. How do you know how to do that?
Oh, a lot of the performers got injured when they were practicing. Sometimes during performances, so we kind of are jack of all trades kind of thing.
Oh, terrifying.
There's
Yeah,
probably
you do
no
not-
like
you-
job in which you break more bones than being a ballerina.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
You're a
do
ballerina?
well, not exactly,
Kinda.
but
Huh.
you definitely don't want to see the kind of injuries that I've had to deal with. Some that I've had.
Ugh.
While you two are talking about this, Gareth has fished out a fucking needle and like line, and has like been slowly like sewing back up the fucking.
No,
The-
I
When
got it.
Umber
I got
turns
the
to look back at
nicotine.
Garrett to ask him a question, she just goes, "Oh my god."
It's best
No,
to have
I got it.
closed.
I've done this before. I'm doing it. You sit there.
I mean, it's already halfway done. It's not like I don't know medicine. Be my guest.
All
And
right.
Gareth just like drops the needle and it just like boop, boop, like just kind of just like hangs.
right.
Already like 3 circles in.
I've finished what he started. Your stitches
Umber's
aren't
gonna
tight
interrogate. Not really
She's like,
interrogate.
she's like commenting like, "Oh, the stitches aren't tight enough. You're just."
Gareth, it's like you fought a vampire eagle.
I believe those are 2 different things.
Yeah, it looks like you got fought by both of them at the same time.
Excellent.
It looks nasty, but
I'll be fine.
minimal scarring.
Did you... It happened when you came across what you did?
It was invisible.
No, before that. When they were talking to each other, did you glean any information about what we might be up against? Besides, well,
Just
The obvious.
I couldn't understand their language. I just all Oliver and I were able to glean was that preparations for tomorrow are done or something like that. Like Garrett kind of like motions towards Oliver for confirmation. He was most likely talking about the training of wine, which is warrior. Many warrior clans do that before a big war with their enemies.
But why would he bring it up? I
I don't
mean,
know. Maybe he
I
was
don't
just saying
know.
like, "All right, now I'm good to go" or something.
It might also be just like a magical ritual. Worst case
I do
scenario.
not like those
Ravens?
ravens. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I just assumed that we already told them about that.
Can I make kind of like a little rolly for that? Like, let's say describe the ravens. Umber would like to try to like
Very big.
very be big. Would like to go through like her mind map and see if she can remember
My
anything
mind
of like,
palace.
are these like unusual birds? Are these more like, are they types of birds that are usually seen as like trained as like huntsman pets or anything? Or okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it's not necessarily usual. I can appreciate their aesthetic, but I'm not sure what they'd use it for.
I certainly hope this isn't alluding to any more rituals of summoning because we've dealt with too many of those.
Hmm.
I'm a little concerned, especially if it's a summoning ritual of some sort or some sort of like enhancement ritual.
I guess all that we can do is really.
If it is a spell, all we need to do is find the one who has cast it and
It
put it
sounds-
into it.
It sounds like scorn.
Quickle
Score.
gets like
Scurb.
pushes the
Score.
like the tent, like it's not a door, but like like, and she's just like rubbing her eyes. What's up? What's everybody doing?
Go back to
It's
bed,
that night
dwarf.
time. Everybody's what's with the spells and the ravens and the...
Yeah,
What is
there's
it?
a raven thing attacked Gareth and he's got a nasty thing on his shoulder.
I'm fine though.
I don't think she cares. But
I know
I
she
care,
does.
it's fine.
I don't think she's awake.
No, she's like staring.
Brooke, how many
Anyway,
That's
fingers am
exactly
I
what Umber's
holding
been
up?
doing. She's been like standing completely still, like she's
What
just like
did
not even
Ezrin say?
blinking.
Sorry.
How many
didn't hear.
fingers am I holding up? And she's holding up 4 fingers.
Brooke kind of squints. She's like, 4?
Okay, she's awake.
Anyways, I think we should all be getting to bed to get some.
Aye,
Well,
probably. It's a little
needed
bit late
rest.
to be making such a ruckus.
Do you know anything about rituals involving ravens?
We did witness the summoning of the,
The Morgan.
Morrigan.
Hmm.
Was
So
that a
what?
raven? Kind of an owl? Maybe more of a lady? Yeah,
You got-
you know.
You guys what?
We do
Oh, we'll
not have
explain
time to get
later.
into this. We need rest.
I might. Wait, I'm gonna take out my arcane book. I can ask some important lore questions. I got connections, man. uh, I think it's like, yeah, no, she has no idea what half of this fucking book is saying. But also, I think it's the first time she just takes it out in the middle of everyone, like just like, cause she just has it on her lap, like she's tired, she doesn't care, and she takes out like probably has a quill somewhere. She's like, what? Ravens? That skilled guy? She scribbles some things, you know, like it's Skjor looked like what? He was wearing antlers and everything. He had like some sort of warrior rituals from like Yggdrasil. She just kind of vaguely describes that. Maybe scribbles him extremely crudely. It's just like weird guy, ravens, rituals. What the hell? Like, what's up? When you text someone, you're just like, "Hi, are you awake?" And it's like 3 a.m.
Hmm.
You're kinda.
You're just gonna get a giant middle finger.
That's your.
She shows the drawing to Oliver specifically because Oliver saw him, right? And she's just like, "Yeah, is that?" Oh, I didn't do that. Yeah, she was like, you know, yeah, that's it. We got confirmation. I don't know about the tree, but yeah.
Is there anything maybe from my travels that would that I would have heard something about this? No? My brain's trailing towards the religious section. $11. Oh boy. So, Brookhild, I've never seen you take out that book before.
Uh, don't mention it.
Okay.
She smiles. She's just like, did I fuck up? I'm like, you know, I'm like, no, okay.
No, it's fine. I just was curious about it.
She flips a few pages, scratches her forehead, and like, apparently that man is a spirit of the site who traded an eye for wisdom.
Doesn't seem like a wise choice to me.
Well, that's concerning.
Shh.
Does that book tell you any other information? Perhaps how we could beat it? Or what it can do at the very least?
You can always ask yourself. She's like, hands like with the quill and just like she doesn't know what he wants to ask.
I literally said what I wanted to ask there.
I'm more concerned what that has to do with the dragons. Or lizards or vampire eagles. Or whatever the
She
hell it
like
was.
she looks at the image. I've heard of this.
Huh.
Yeah. He's uh he's a warrior that fought Saint Joan at one point. He's a
Furious?
warrior of wind and ice, and Saint Joan had a whole battle against him. I don't remember the kingdom's name. Uh,
Excellent.
I think Saint Joan had something to do with the Delian Knights as well, but like, this was a long time ago.
That's a hell
Well,
of
a
a
lot of
puzzle.
things that have been a long time ago seem to have been popping back up as of recently.
Really? Is nobody else concerned about the dragons?
So we're dealing with.
You cut the head off of the snake stops to move, dwarf.
So
I don't think it's the head.
from what I'm understanding, we're dealing with an ancient warrior from back in St. John's time. Which, considering everything that we've experienced thus far, I'm not too shocked, and I'm afraid of that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's that. That checks out. That
Aye.
makes sense.
It doesn't!
No, I mean being afraid of it makes sense.
Oh.
I think this actually makes quite a bit of sense. There's been weirder.
I mean, there was the.
Google just writes like, I want to know about the dragons. Like she's just like, what's the fucking
Then
name?
ask your book.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I said she writes it down. Like she's like the Dragonborn. Like what's the, like who are supposedly allied with Scorn, Skewer.
Nevertheless, I'm gonna be getting some rest right now.
Isn't that a chocolate brand?
Because I was just out patrolling. Oliver, I suggest you do the same.
I can keep watch for a little while. I need to
I
think
think
about this.
we're quite within the camp. I don't think we need to have personal guards.
You sure?
That's why they had me move out there beforehand. We should be safe in here.
Okay. If you say so. She goes back in the tent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like there's
Where's Oliver going? Mm-hmm. Okay.
yeah, like Brooke's reading her book, but like there's not much. Like it's like yeah, but like probably sleep is gonna be worth more than answers, because having an answer to the puzzle doesn't matter if we get murdered.
Aye. All right, are we all done? We cut the black.
Yeah. Yeah, sleepy time.
You want to do a 10-minute break and then go back to it, get back to it after? Oh, damn. Okay. So let's get this 10-minute of content done then. You got it, boss.
Morrigan. Well, if it is, I'm
Oh.
definitely talking to him.
Hey, Valerie, team up. What's good?
Morrigan, I got
Just waking
cancer.
up in the weird room and being just like, oh, thank God, at least it's not the fucking dwarf this time.
Yeah.
Yo, Garrett? Damn.
Oh, I don't like the green. Is that who I presume it is? It's been a while. What do you come to me with? What do you mean by that? There's been a lot on our minds lately. Well, fighting. We're currently going to battle tomorrow against some foes unknown, and oh, Valerie didn't have a
Yeah,
comment.
God, Valerie doesn't know the nature of the enemies. Valerie was asleep the entire time. What? Right, so you don't know the nature of the enemies.
Right.
Right, you don't know about fucking right, but like not the invisibility or
Yeah.
the skewer being all beyond fucked.
We're going to be doing battle with some unknown enemies tomorrow, and there's also Dragonborn getting involved. It's a pretty hectic day we're going to be going through. Also, more worrying matters. Self. Well, I suppose I could just show Valeria shows her scar. I've learned more about this. It appears my time with my friends might be short, whether I like it. I don't suppose you could shed some greater form of knowledge towards it besides what I already know, which is dangerous. So it is an immune disease. I see. So it's more just growing weaker over time, and, well, we both know what happens after that. I take it she is, not with us? I'll tell her hi for you. But you said you came to me with knowledge, correct? I see. A larger problem? You mean there's more suffering? Still wear them. There's more curious? So it was never just before. So you did say that the brands we were branded with meant which that people are branded to the length of a language could be hundreds of thousands. So so for better or for worse, what do you make of all that? You don't mean you sense others like yourself. Talked about that one dragon like it signified, right? Wouldn't suppose he has anything to do with that. See, interesting news. I'll definitely keep my party up to date with what you told me. Before we part, I haven't given up yet, despite my circumstances I've been met with, but what do you suppose I do about this injury? As I said, I still have aspirations. I'm not going to let myself lose sight of all that. As ever. Farewell. Joan.
Shit.
Your voice changer is still on.
Valerie is up, and she's definitely noticeably more serious, quiet. She's prepping her blades.
Oh jeez, I'm not the last one for once.
Look, man, cancer's rough.
Big nap.
Hi.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Gareth looks around for Oliver. Are you? Do you want to? Do you want to be in this battle alone?
Can always.
Yeah, that is true. But no, I, I think
You're free to join us if you wish, but we're not going to force you to do anything you don't want to.
Valerie immediately walks ahead of everyone.
Whatever we do always ends up being more trouble than it's worth, so I would suggest not coming with us.
same
You
to
as well.
you.
See ya.
Did Valerie just leave without the map?
She's very quiet, very goal oriented right now.
I'm running after her.
You need to bring her back because we need to. Yes, I understood, Lieutenant. Gareth kind of rolls up the map, kind of puts it in his breast, or kind of puts it away. He's like, "All right, well." But we're outside. Oh no! Wait, they gave us a. Okay, so we're not. So we are going
the
inside.
ramparts.
The ramparts. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Okay, yep.
so
All right,
we're
so
gonna
let's-
begin just on top. 'Cause that's how ramparts work, right?
Wonder if it's too late to grab a bow. Issues for different time.
Just throw your greatsword really hard.
And how will I get the greatsword back, dwarf?
That's your problem.
I don't get my arrows back.
Yeah,
thankfully.
you have another one.
Do I get my
Yeah,
do I get my spell slots back?
yeah. It was a full. It was a long.
Oh,
rest.
thank God. All right, so I'm back to full
Okay.
100% because I didn't use any
Hey.
hit die and I didn't lose any HP.
Can I pair my parrying dagger with my rapier?
Yes,
Oh, okay, nice.
it's an offhand weapon, baby.
I'm with Valerie.
It's literally in the name.
I gain my armor class is now 14 if I'm just carrying it around.
Uh,
I was reading off of the
Yes.
He's dead.
Wow, for the past probably good 15 minutes I've been on audio. Actually, I have no idea how long. Anyway, you've heard my friends, but not me. I turned my own audio off so that nobody would be able to hear me while I was
We're the
talking.
important part.
Yeah, you heard the important part though, but I have no idea what's missing, but that's all right. We will end for now and we will say goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye.